is on for your Monday afternoon.
Hit it and quit it.
Here we go. Hopefully it was a beautiful weekend. Dodgers sweep the Braves. Mason and Ireland will break all the baseball down with real Dodgers talk. Plus, the Lakers still don't have a head coach. More details on that, I'm sure. And last night, the Tom Brady roast. Is it true Ireland said they weren't going to mention Giselle? They mentioned Giselle like 10,000 times. Made me think about the old Mason and Ireland roast at Commerce Casino years back. I don't think Mason could make it through a roast anymore.
When you look in the mirror, what do you see?
I see someone who's trying really hard. A lot of effort is what I see.
Anyway, let's get to the fun and frivolity of a Monday afternoon, celebrating their 20th year at ESPN Los Angeles, the biggest show on the radio, Mason and Ireland. Your Monday afternoon right now.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How was the weekend, guys? What'd you do, Ireland?
Well, Friday night I went to Beach Life.
Right. How was Seal and Sting? How
They were both great.
Yeah.
Both great. You made the right choice, though. You were originally going to go, but then you're like me, you're a ticket snob, and you didn't want to sit general admission.
Correct, yeah.
Had you done that, even with VIP, I had VIP
Yep.
standing for 4
really?
or 5
Okay.
hours. Yeah,
All right.
but Lisa was really smart. So we went and saw Seal.
Yep.
Then we had an hour before Sting. And so we went and ate dinner at Shade down there, that hotel, and then went back for.
Oh,
so
nice.
We broke
You had
it
a
up.
good plan. That's a good plan.
Yeah, we handled it well. They're both great. Seal and Sting were both great, and it's really cool seeing the whole beach turned into a 5,000 people on the beach.
Yep.
So so that was fun, and then
Did Seal sing this? Did he sing "Kiss from a Rose"?
Kiss from a Rose.
Yeah.
Sure. This
He
is
sang
like
all
his
his
big
hits.
song,
Does he
right?
have another hit?
oh yeah,
Sure.
Name it.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy.
You've
I
never.
just can't. That's Britney Spears.
What?
Yeah.
No. Play "Crazy" by Seal, Brian. You've
Yeah.
heard it.
No, you know this song.
Crazy?
Seal's got tons of hits.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, he had. He probably had.
Oh, it is in the system. Here, I got it.
All right, play.
This is probably his biggest hit.
No, "Kiss from a Rose" is his biggest
think
hit,
so?
but this is probably number 2.
Yeah, this is right up there.
And Sting played everything. He was great.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was his encore song? What did he save for? I'm always interested to see what songs they save for the encore.
Yeah, it was the one about the stalker.
Oh, it was Every Breath You Take?
Yeah, at the end.
Nice.
I think he closed with that the night you and I went and saw him too. I think
Yeah, I
that's
think
his,
he did. That's his
closing
his big
song.
closing number.
Yeah.
Berman,
Opened with "Message in a Bottle" and closed with that.
Nice. And then Saturday you did Kentucky Derby?
I did. I bet $40 on Fierceness.
The favorite, right?
Because I figured I got 3-1. I was going to win $60 easy.
Yep.
Finished 15th.
Nice.
Greg, your horse finished 10th.
My horse finished first in the following race.
Oh, you bet the wrong race?
No. I'm
Oh.
saying my horse was so slow, he actually
He was
finished
behind.
first.
He wasn't behind mine.
I
was
think
he?
he
There were only
was,
20
yeah.
horses in the field.
Yeah, no, I think he was pretty
Just
back
a
there.
touch?
Yeah,
Great,
just a touch.
Great race.
It was an unbelievable race. I was at a derby party. I ended up getting invited to a derby party
I was too.
at a yacht club in the marina. Things that don't go together, Mason and yacht club.
So how was it?
It was fantastic. All of the women had the
Hats?
goofy hats on, and everybody drew. And here's what sucks. So we did a big pool of all the horses, and they came down to the last two little slips you could take,
right,
for $10 each. So I reach in, I take one. It's a 50-1 shot. The last piece in there was Mystic Dan.
So the last person won
the
the money.
last person won the money.
And a pretty good number, too, right?
Yeah,
like
it was
18-1, 20-1.
Yeah, pretty long shot. Now, I heard he's not going to run in the Preakness, which I think sucks. I think it should be a requirement.
Yeah, I do, too. If you win it, you gotta kind of show up.
Bergman, what did you do?
I had a really good weekend. I was with my kids, and
let me set this up.
Okay.
Bergman walked in today and said, over the weekend, I had the greatest honor of my life.
Which was what?
And I said,
Absolutely.
don't tell me now. Save it for the show.
So, do you remember my my refugee family? The
Yes.
family that stayed
Yeah,
with me for
yeah,
6
right.
months?
They stayed for a long time. Yeah,
Long time. So they decided to make me the godfather of their kids this week.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't think there's a greater honor I've ever had in my life.
Did they have did you go to a baptism or something?
No, it's just an honorary thing.
Wait a minute. So there was no formal paperwork signed?
They were always, every time I made jokes about it, they would just be like, yeah, okay. But
No, there is no paperwork if you're a godfather.
Yeah, but when I was a godfather, I went to baptism.
I did too.
Catholic. something.
Yeah.
And I poured a little water on the head and did some of that.
Basically, they're saying that if they pass away, I get their kids. They're
Oh, that's
trusting me.
different.
Yeah, they're trusting me with their kids if they go.
That's what that means. What you did with the water, that's essentially what that means. If something happens to those parents, now you are the parent of that
So are
child.
those kids adults now that you were the godfather for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
You're good.
grown-ups.
You're
I'm
good.
off the hook.
Yeah.
By the way, there's one I couldn't
cool
even.
is that,
I
though?
wouldn't. I couldn't even tell you the name. I'm his godfather. I couldn't even. I have.
It was
I
that
don't-
long ago.
I have no recollection of it whatsoever. It was a previous relationship and a nephew
I
and
think that
something
happens
or
a
other.
lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. My godfather disappeared. My godfather. I know who my godmother was, but my godfather,
Okay.
we never. His
So
name was
my,
Ferdy.
My godfather was my uncle, my mom's brother. Is that normal?
It
Like if
was-
anything
It
would
is.
have happened to me growing up, I would have gone to live with him.
It was my mom's cousin Ferdy who disappeared. So I would have not been
Okay.
able to. I still would have not had anywhere to live. Ferdy. What a name.
What a name.
Ferdy. F-E-R-D-I-E. Ferdy.
Interesting.
But how cool is that? Is
That's
that not,
really
is
cool.
that not a cool honor?
It sounds like a burden. Sounds
No!
like a burden
Such a
walking
bad
around
guy.
with the knowledge that you.
You're a bad guy.
No,
No, I
I'm
don't think it's a
sorry.
burden at all. I think you should be honored.
Yeah,
Good for
no,
you.
it's a very nice. It's a very nice
Massively
honor.
honored.
Good
I
for you.
agree with you, Greg.
I felt
Did they
that.
move back in? With
They
the
live in a
kid?
house now.
Yeah. was that was the first question? Will you be the godfather? Great. He's moving in with you. All right. Yeah, that would
They
have
have
been the
two
next
kids now.
step.
Yeah. Brian, what about you? What was fun this weekend?
I went out to a very nice steakhouse in Long Beach. I think it's like 555.
What'd you order?
That's where I was at the Kentucky Derby party in Long Beach.
Nice. Yeah, I was down there
What'd
Saturday
you
night.
order?
A nice little filet with some artichoke, some French onion soup off the chart.
Not a
Wow.
little, not a petite fillet.
Oh, I had a petite filet.
You're a petite
I-
fillet
not
guy.
usually. This
I
is the
had,
first
I
time
took
I've
you
done that
for
in
a
a while.
porterhouse guy.
That's what
no.
Allison got, actually. So,
Oh,
we shared.
Allison.
Allison.
Yeah.
Good for
But
her.
petite filet is the way to go. Michael and I always order petite filets because then you get to eat all the other stuff.
Exactly.
Oh,
all the
I see.
sides,
all the
too, come like
sides start
family
coming, then
style.
you got
See,
room for dessert.
I like a big New York strip.
Nothing wrong with
And
that.
I like it to be dry aged, not wet aged. Wet aged is different from dry
What's
aged.
the difference? Explain the difference.
Well, they age a steak either in liquid, in some sort of marinade, or they age it dry. They sort of hang it and dry it out. I think when the steak is dry aged, it's got a nice little crust on it. It gets a little crust on top, which
Yeah,
I
they were all
absolutely-
dry aged. So very good.
The best.
There you go.
Fleming's, by the way, wet aged. I will not eat there. I will not eat it. It's like $100 for a New York that's wet aged. Come on.
So what's weird about where we are, LA Live,
Yeah.
if you come down here for an event, like you come to Crypto.com Arena, you have a choice between the Palm, Mastro's, and Fleming's,
True.
which are all technically across the street
Yep.
from Crypto, depending on which direction you go. Now, given those three, where are you going?
I do not like Mastro's.
You don't like Fleming's, so does
I
the
don't like
Palm
Fleming's.
win by
the
default?
Palm wins. The Palm wins.
I like all three of them.
Ding, ding, ding. Fleming's
good.
too expensive.
No, I like Fleming's.
They're all
But-
good.
Although, you know what I associate with Fleming's is the night that
night.
they took Mason and I, the guys who ran this place, took Mason and I to dinner.
It was the eve of Game 7 of the 2010 finals.
to announce that they were firing Dave Singer, who had produced our show from the beginning, and we said no and walked out.
Walked out.
Now, if they said they were firing me,
I would eat the steak and then walk out.
I would
Well,
definitely.
wait a minute. You would be the one firing you.
I would be the one firing me,
You
right,
can't
that's
get
how that would
fired.
work.
If they were to blow you out, I would say I'd register slight disapproval.
slight. That sounds good. At least you got that slight in there.
I would
Okay.
just say,
Appreciate
really?
You know
okay.
the weird thing about this that has now come full circle? They were going to replace Singer with Travis
Rogers as the producer.
to produce us. And we both said to them that night, we go, look, Travis doesn't want to be a producer. He's been in Houston doing shows.
He wants to be on the
He
air.
wants to be on the air. And they
there he is.
and they said, no. For you guys, he'll produce. And we went, what are you doing? And then finally, so we walked out. They got the message. And when we, after the Lakers won Game 7, won the title, and then they took it back 2 days later. Our walkout worked.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
rest was history.
Laura, you have a good weekend?
I did. I had an eventful weekend. I also went to a restaurant. I had a steak. It was really good. And
A
went
big
to
steak weekend for this
Boy, a
group.
lot
Yeah.
of steak, huh?
18-ounce steak.
Beautiful.
I
Atta
couldn't-
girl.
I did not eat half of that, but it was really good. And I also went to an Aventura concert last
Right.
night.
It was your anniversary?
Yes, yesterday was our anniversary. And shout out to my man because he has no idea who Aventura is, does not know the language, anything. But he showed up to the concert. He's like, "You want to go?" And I'm like, "Are you sure it's our anniversary?" He's like, "Baby, do you want to go?" I was like, "Yes." He's like,
There you go. That's very nice.
Yeah.
That's very
Shout
nice.
out to him.
So you can take another potential Lakers head coach off the board.
Maybe two of them.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd has signed an extension, and the Clippers have come out and said they're keeping Ty Lue. So I think the Lakers are going to have to scratch those two guys off the list, unless there's some backdoor machination going on with Lue that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But Jason Kidd's now off the list.
But I think the obvious choice is, well, I'll tell you coming up next. Hey, don't miss the Waba Grill Shadano and Cap 4 o'clock hour today on 710. Waba Grill wants you to make a dinner time a little easier with their new Kids Eat Free program. Get a free chicken or tofu mini bowl with any entree purchase weekdays after 4 and all weekend long. Restrictions apply. Waba Grill. Eat smart, be healthy, and listen to the 6 p.m. hour on Fridays for the Waba Grill pop quiz and your chance to win Waba Grill for your entire family. All right, so driving to work today, I looked at the gas meter, and it tells me how much I'm getting. I'm getting 49 miles per gallon right now with my Elantra, which is a hybrid. First time I ever drove a hybrid. And the moment I entered into this partnership with the Southern California Hyundai dealers, I'm like, well, I am going to drive a Hyundai. And I absolutely love it. And with next level tech and safety features, Hyundai cars and SUVs give you the confidence to boldly journey wherever life takes you. Advantages include available class exclusive digital key and available remote smart parking assist. And because the road ahead should be as worry-free as possible, you also get complimentary maintenance for 3 years or 36,000 miles and 10 years of America's best warranty. It's your journey. Own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. Learn more about Hyundai's award-winning lineup and warranty at buyhyundai.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealer today. Mason, Ireland, 710.
Mason and Ireland continues now.
So I've got this problem that's developing, John.
And it is.
Look between my eyebrows.
Okay. Got a little cut there, it looks like.
Correct. Now watch when I do this. It's like I'm giving myself this little bruise by having
By
those
furrowing your brow.
By furrowing my brow. So all I can think is I think I need to get Botox. Otherwise, I'm going to have a permanent bruise
Sure,
right
why
there.
not? You live in L.A.
Do you think I should? I've got a permanent bruise right in the middle.
Understand. Your eyebrows are giving you a bruise?
No, this is giving me a bruise. When I do this with my eyes, if you're watching on YouTube, when I do this with my eyes.
Well, like they said to Tom Brady, his face doesn't move, and he has no sense of humor.
Correct,
So there you go.
exactly. So do you think I need to get shot up so that I don't have this little bruise in the middle of my face?
If that's what's going to happen.
You live in Los Angeles. It's better to look marvelous than to feel marvelous.
Yeah,
Go
no, it's
for it.
true. It's
as
true.
long as you can still have an expression on your
I will
face.
have a slight expression.
As long as you have some.
I'll move some of my forehead.
Little bit.
Just a slight bit of forehead movement.
Then go right ahead.
Yeah.
Be like everyone else.
Yeah, why not? By the way, we had a lot of questions. People are expecting us to go skydiving on Friday. It actually got moved to Friday, June the 7th is when we're skydiving.
You're good, Ireland? Friday, June 7th?
I think we went through that, yeah?
No, we didn't.
Are you sure? It was in all of our text chains.
Yeah, I knew I could do it this Friday, but I don't know about. I got to check.
Oh no.
I think it's only you and Greg.
Oh boy.
Look what you did.
Oh boy. All right. So this is interesting. We're in the middle of another Lakers head coaching search.
The biannual coaching search
It happens about every 2 years or so. Now replacing Darvin Ham. And Charles Barkley is on All of Us Media Types. Here's what he says.
I just want to say this about coaching. Anybody who thinks the reason the Lakers suck is because of Darvin Ham or the reason the Suns suck is because of Frank Vogel, you don't know what you're talking about. Frank Vogel is a hell of a coach. Darvin Ham is a hell of a coach trying to get his career started. But for all you punks, idiots, and on other networks who want to be media and who want all the players to like y'all, do your damn job. The Lakers suck, and the Suns sucks because of the players. It has nothing to do with the coaches. I feel better now.
Here, I can tell. Looks like you're getting that off your chest.
I did. I hate it, man. You sit there like Darvin Ham needs to get fired. Frank Vogel needs to get fired. Who put them teams together? Them trash-ass teams put together need to get fired. Them guys, they didn't just all of a sudden suck as coaches. People who put them teams together, they start packing up their stuff.
Okay, so a lot of interesting points in there.
This is good.
Okay. First of all, I don't think he's wrong. I think that the players should take a lot of the responsibility, but let's live in reality. You can't fire all the players.
Correct.
You're restricted, which is why so many coaches and so many managers and so many NFL coaches get fired every year. It's kind of comes with the territory. You are hired to be fired. And in terms of firing people, you can't fire an owner, as anybody will tell you. And the owner, at the end of the day, is the one that is placing. The GMs are one step closer to the owner than the players are.
Yep.
So it's harder to fire a GM, too.
Yeah, it is very hard to fire a GM. And I think it's fair to look at what Rob Pelinka has done and said, well, the last 2 years have not panned out. He was responsible for the Westbrook trade, which, you know, the Lakers gave up young assets and for a player that didn't work and didn't fit and never fit.
But there's an element to this that's unique to the Lakers. LeBron normally only signs short-term contracts, so he has leverage, and he can always threaten to leave. So I don't know if this happened or not, but I would assume LeBron and AD signed off on the Westbrook trade.
Oh, 100%.
If not, even went to Rob and said, hey, we want Russ. Get Russ to come play with us. I mean, I'm guilty. I thought it would work. It didn't. But so does that take some of the onus off of Rob because you think LeBron and AD are the ones who, for lack of a better term, made that trade happen?
Yeah, LeBron, Rich Paul, and to a lesser degree Anthony Davis are really kind of running the franchise at this point. LeBron wants to play. There's no question.
Well, Rob refers to them as partners.
Yeah,
so
partners.
They have an equal say in all this stuff.
Partners, but Rob will apparently Rob will not say to LeBron no. Rob will not say no.
Well,
that
wait a
won't
minute.
work.
Wait a minute. He did it with Ty Lue a few years ago. Remember,
But that's not. But that wasn't.
LeBron
you're right.
LeBron wanted Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Rob said, "Okay, I'll try and get him." But the Lakers, for whatever reason, had decided.
Well, that's Genie.
3-year deal.
Correct.
And we're picking the assistants.
That
Ty
was,
Lue said, "I'm out."
I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
So
a
there's
bit.
an example of saying no to LeBron.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I mean, ultimately, if you look at the roster, I mean, there's a reason we're talking about Trae Young as a potential because Trae Young is a Clutch client, and LeBron is with Clutch, and Rich Paul is, in the heart of the organization to a great degree. I mean, this is. Don't think that Darvin got fired exclusively because of the playoff miss. It was that LeBron doesn't believe Darvin is a championship coach.
But the other thing about this Clutch thing, it's not like anybody that Clutch represents is eventually going to land up on the Lakers.
But many do.
For example, KCP was a Clutch client.
Yes.
And they put him in the Westbrook trade
Correct.
to get Westbrook, who's not a Clutch client.
Yep.
So they are making decisions outside of the Clutch bubble. But having said that, I think LeBron and AD are and should be consulted on any moves like this. I think that's remember when way back in the day when the Lakers, who did they trade and didn't tell Kobe? I'm trying to remember, but one of Kobe's best friends on the team got it was Karan Butler.
Yeah.
He was like super close to Kobe and he worked close, and then they just traded him one day and didn't tell him. And afterwards, Mitch Kupchak said that was a mistake. We need to communicate better. And Rob will come right out and tell you that he looks at AD and LeBron as partners. He consults with them on everything.
Well, then it's a failure for Rob and LeBron.
Right. I think they equally.
And I think that LeBron's got this nifty way of somehow avoiding not having his fingerprints on things.
Well, the one thing you want to say about LeBron is if he keeps playing at an all-star level, and he did again this year, then you want to do whatever it takes
100%.
And so this is part of that.
But this is part of the LeBron experience.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go back to David Blatt, who made it to the finals and was fired the
Ice
next
guy,
year.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's been a regular with LeBron. All right, going to do the wheel of questions coming up next. It is Laura's wheel today. Plus, the Clippers are done, and now they might wind up losing one of their franchise players. That's coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, did you know it can take up to 11 weeks on average to hire for an open position? That's 2.5 months. So if you're hiring for a growing business, do what we do. Use ZipRecruiter. They can help you find qualified candidates for all your roles fast. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. Or, as my friend Ian Siegel says, he invented ZipRecruiter, they don't leave anything to chance. It's a computer algorithm that works, and it works fast. Just go to that exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
The fun way. You know what it's time for? What is this? It's time for Wheel of Questions. Producer Brian Cohen, are you ready with that wheel? Hit it, Jack.
Huh. Good. Well done.
We got a good huh.
Well done.
All right, guys, you guys mentioned that I celebrated 2 years with my boyfriend, and over the weekend we were having dinner, very quiet dinner, but we noticed there was a large party sitting next to us, clearly celebrating a birthday.
Okay.
By the end of the dinner, the waiting staff all came out, and you see the birthday person just like drop the smile because they knew they were about to sing happy birthday. You know, I hate that, by the way.
Happy birthday.
And the birthday person said, "Oh, no. Thank you so much. It's okay. No need for that." And the waiting staff continued to sing happy birthday, even though they told them to stop. So my question to you guys is, would you, as a waiter, continue to sing or just honor and be like, "Oh, okay, here's your birthday cake"?
The customer is always right, Laura. If the customer asks you to stop singing, I stop singing.
I actually am in agreement. The customer is always right, even when they're wrong. That's what I was taught from all the way back working at a grocery store, all the way through a movie theater. Customer's always right.
Customer is not always right.
Fact.
However,
No, they're not.
They're not always right.
have
You
to
should
treat them
not
as right.
actually treat them
You
as
should
if
act-
they're already not.
Oh,
as they're
no,
always right.
you have to treat
Absolutely
them
not.
as right.
No,
They're the customer.
That's not the right.
So how would you do it?
I would still let them. I would stop as a waiter. In this situation, the customer's right. But in
All right.
most situations, they're usually wrong.
But yeah, but even when
don't
they're
treat them that
wrong,
way. I don't
if you care about ongoing business, you've got to treat them as right, even when they're wrong.
No.
Nah.
What do you?
I worked in the industry for a long time. I did not treat every customer as if they were right.
We treated
what
every
did you-
customer like they were right.
I need a situation.
So, well, wait a minute. What's an example of a time where you didn't treat a customer like where the customer was wrong?
I was kind of crazy about it too. So like I would, if someone left me a really bad tip, I would.
Would you chase them out the door?
I did. I would chase them out the door and say, "Hey, what did I do wrong here?" Like actually,
Would you really?
100%.
Oh, that's so weird.
100%. And they're like, "Oh, you did nothing
Yeah,
wrong."
if
I'm like,
you were
"Okay,
my,
then
if,
why
if
was
I
the
was
low
your
tip?"
manager, you're out.
Yeah, I mean
I would
that's
too.
I did
that
not get
doesn't
fired
fly
for
right
that.
there. Chasing the customers out, saying, "Hey, where's the rest of my tip?"
No, I didn't say where the rest of my tip. I said, "Hey,
mean, you did,
want."
though.
I said,
You're a little short.
I said, "You gave me a really bad tip. I'm just wondering what did I do wrong so I could do better next time." And they said, "Oh no, you were great. Everything was fine." I was like, "Oh,
That's
okay."
just how much we tip.
Yeah, that's just So at that point, I have to walk away. But I do go chase after him because what the hell, man?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
an excellent waiter.
I don't
What the
know
hell,
that
man?
that necessarily would fly with the average restaurant
You
manager.
get fired for that.
Chase them out the door. Chasing them out the door. All right, there you have that. There is your wheel of. Oh, Brian, what about you?
Honestly, if you tell them to stop before they start singing, I'm okay. But if I'm already going,
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish.
Yeah, first of all,
I'm not gonna stop singing.
That's the thing.
You're a
The other thing is,
Right.
I think it's unreasonable to expect somebody to stop. I mean, it's a
Happy
birthday.
birthday to you.
It's like
Okay,
no.
you know what? I'm out.
now.
No,
I
but-
just feel like I'm not complete though.
My thing is
You
like,
go to the back and then finish it.
pause. Anyways, my whole thing is like, if you, Greg,
That was funny.
that was late. But my thing is, you also know that the waiting staff is probably being looked at by somebody. So
Yeah.
thank you. You know, just let them do their thing.
What I hate is that when they do the birthday song, and apparently there are rights fees now for "Happy Birthday to You," so people make up birthday songs, and it's like
Oh, yeah, that's
"Happy
weird.
birthday, ha ha, birthday, ha ha."
Wait, what? I have
Well,
not
no,
heard
they
that.
make up
Right,
some
they make up
stupid
a
song.
variation,
variation
of a
of
birthday
it
song.
without actually
happy
singing
birthday, happy birthday to
birthday,
you.
Right, I've heard that.
birthday.
Yeah, so they don't get hit with a bill.
Hit with a bill, exactly. All right,
Hey, by the way, did you know that it's time to make your vote count for the biggest night of the year for ESPN LA? Are you ready to vote? Have you voted yet?
Is it time?
The Mandy's 3. Go to ESPNLA.com and click on the Mandy's 3 voting page logo, presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Normand. Injury attorneys you can trust, 213-747-2000. Vote now at ESPNLA.com.
We'll do it live. The voting is now officially live, and Ireland. You know, my one message as we get ready for all the Mandy's voting. Everybody has got to
vote for the Mason and Ireland Show.
That's Brian Cranston for Show of the Year. The voting is on, and I discovered something amazing.
That Pepe can't pronounce the word focus?
No, I've known that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Each email address gets one vote.
Okay.
So in other words, like if you go and vote, let's say, one of our regular listeners, you only get to vote one time. You can't vote multiple times. So there's no ballot box stuffing, right,
That's
Bergman?
right. That's the way to do it.
And unlike what Ireland says, the awards are not rigged.
They're not in the slightest.
They are rigged.
They are not. They are
You
not.
keep making this joke, but it's just not possible.
You don't think it's possible for Morales to rig the Mandy's?
He does not.
Okay.
He does absolutely. 100%.
Well, it is. You have to say it is possible.
I mean, it's possible.
Hey,
if
he
goes
can
through
absolutely do it.
It's a made-up award show by us.
Yeah. Yes, but at the same time.
I mean, do the math.
Have you seen how much?
I mean, we didn't hire Ernst and Young here.
Have you seen how much Morales does? Do you think he has that much time to go onto the
on this?
page?
Yeah, when it comes to the Mandy's,
the
fully
Mandy's
loose.
are like his wedding, since he's often
yeah,
said
no,
he'll
it is.
never be
It
married.
is like his wedding. That's very good.
100% not happening.
Yeah, no, I trust in the sanctity of the vote.
Tommy Lamb knows, and at some point
The
Jorge
firm
knows,
of-
and that's
The
it.
form of the.
No, there is no firm. We did not hire an accounting
It's the firm of Tommy, Jorge, and Morales.
Right.
No, no
wonder
Morales.
Briones
Morales does
wins
not
every
know.
time.
No.
Now, so whose turn is it?
all
Is the host of the year a rotating trophy, or is it going to go to Slee again?
NBA MVP?
Yeah, or
So
is it going to
far.
go? If it goes to Slee again, will that mean it's rigged? That will mean it's not rigged, right?
If it goes to Sliwa again. Well, I think that most of the awards will go to Sedano and Cap because the Circle of Trolls
But
votes.
we've always done really well.
Yeah, but they vote. The Circle of Trolls
Yeah,
votes.
well, partly is
Trust.
you're alienating people by calling them trolls.
Exactly.
The Circle of Trust is there are actually a lot of Mason and Ireland people in
Yes,
there.
and there are a lot of trolls. Yeah, so they vote, and they vote for Sedano and Cap, so they'll win most of the awards. That's my prediction. See if I'm right.
Yeah, we will see.
Because
we will see.
Greg claims that it's
Oh, the-
100% honest, and there will be nothing Vic. So I'm calling it now. Sedano and Cap win all the major awards.
All of them.
All of them.
But that won't be Morales. If someone else fixes it.
No,
that's
but
someone
what are you
else.
talking about? Won't be Morales. That's Morales' favorite show.
But that's so. What if he's going to fix something? Why would he fix everything towards his favorite show?
Right. I mean, the
Why
bit
wouldn't he?
No, because then it would be obvious.
the bit of the
Well,
year.
why does he care if it's obvious?
That's not good content, though. That's not good.
Yeah.
Like he wants the
I'm just gonna go along
the
with
fight.
it. I'm
Okay,
going to go along with it.
Vote for the Mason and Ireland Show.
All right.
And by the way, Jeremiah Whitten did that diss track last
Oh
week.
yeah.
He says "Circle of Trolls" in the diss
Oh,
track.
is
That a
that,
point,
is that where you
Jeremiah?
got it?
Wait, do it again. Play it.
Okay, don't get mad. First of all, John's forehead starts at his nose, but it never really stops because it goes and it goes. He's a 1%er now and he knows and it shows. Golf course at Terranea is the place that he goes. Travis Rogers seems nice, he's vanilla as hell. See a person or just AI, I can't really tell. Apologies, I think I just fell asleep, but maybe it was because I'm listening to post-game with sleep. What does Morales even doing? Why is he on the shows? He pops up on Lit Tuesdays and steps on the flows, playing stupid yacht rock songs that nobody knows, but at least he makes fun of Sedano's ridiculous flows. Cappy's always pushing weird merch aside as bold. I think he lives for validation for the Circle of Trolls. Greg hates
He
Paul Kennedy,
does.
he hates you as well.
That a
Hope
point,
you get
Jeremiah.
trapped in
You
a
and
stash
I.
in the shell.
Circle
Save
of
the best for last,
Trolls.
mate. Keep your clothes on, dog.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see the pictures, buddy. Save it for one. I'm done with this diss track, and I'm reached the end.
This is very good, by the way.
It's great. Jeremiah Whitten always comes through. That's only the second time we've played that thing.
That is
I
the second
think,
time.
yeah.
We should play it more and more.
we should incorporate
We
it
should.
into the
We absolutely
fabric
should.
of the show.
All right, so I want to, since I teased it, I want to get to this one thing. There
Focus.
are reports, Ireland,
Yeah.
that the Clippers and Paul George have circled a deal for a while now and haven't been able to consummate one, which is making it seem as though, and it's being reported that he is going to test the market.
I believe he will go to free agency. He will test the market, and he'll end up re-signing with the Clippers.
You think he'll wind up back
That's how
with
I
the
think
Clippers?
it's going to go down. But I do think he's going to go check it out and see what happens. The Sixers would love to have him.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that he could put them over the top. But I think Paul George, I think Ty Lue comes back to coach him, and Paul George comes back to play for the Clippers.
So it's the same old, same old. It's like first-round exit Clippers.
What else can they do?
Well, I mean, they've got all the money in the world. You don't think they can? They could have.
They're over the cap, though. So if Paul George walks, it's not like they get to replace that.
No, but they
salary.
elected to re-sign Kawhi, and that's
For less than the max. Paul George is asking for the max. I don't think they want to give it to him. And I think Philly will.
So why would Paul George leave a dime on the table?
I don't think he's going to. I think the Clippers are going to cave.
Oh, you
and
think
give
they're
him
going
the
to
max?
give him the max?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Well, we're going to find out. I
They're
think,
going into a new building. They don't have a choice.
and by the way, I just don't see how they get better.
Well, maybe they won't.
It's a bunch of descending players. Would you not say Kawhi and Paul George are descending
Paul
based
George,
on?
I would say, is in his prime. Kawhi is a great player, but the questions are about his health.
Right.
I think Zubats is ascending. I think Terrence Mann is ascending.
Well, but those guys don't have high ceilings.
You think they bring Russ back? Maybe not.
Maybe not. I mean, I don't know. They seemed happy. Although there was an article this last week that said getting him integrated into what they're doing was really, really hard, and they kept it very, very private. So it sounds like there was some effort involved in getting Russ to fit in there.
I always say, Greg, I don't know if you noticed this, whenever I watch Clipper games, I think Russ, while he plays well in spurts, and keep in mind, Russ used to be my favorite player until the whole Laker thing blew up. I think Russ actually shoots them out of games sometimes.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they have the guts to go to Harden. What about Harden?
Yeah, Harden's another one. What do you do?
Do you bring Harden and you bring all four of those guys
definitely
back?
Harden is definitely a descending player.
Of course he is.
He's going to give you that one good game like he did when they won, was it game 4 or 5, when he went crazy, hit like 6 of 8 shots inside the paint, those little floaters. He'll give you one of those a series, but that's it. So Harden's not the right guy anymore.
All right, coming up next, returning Dodger, Walker Buehler on the mound tonight. What are your expectations? We'll talk about the big sweep over the weekend. Plus, 2 o'clock call of the day. Any subject fair. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN for the 2 o'clock call of the day. In the meantime, let me tell you about some poker. So when I play, I always play at Commerce Casino and Hotel. And this is a big deal. People like world champ Daniel Negreanu are pumped up about the WSOP being at Commerce. And
Daniel Negreanu is playing with you in this tournament?
Well, he's in the tournament.
Right.
I'm not going to necessarily be at his table.
If you take him down, it will be your greatest professional achievement as a poker player.
Well,
just letting you know.
We will find out.
That guy's big time.
World Series of Poker comes to the Commerce Casino and Hotel May 10th through the 24th, so it's coming, starting this weekend. Take in the first WSOP ring event outside of Vegas in 2024. Visit CommerceCasino.com for more details. Take a seat. Get right in the action. One tournament can change your life. Play your game. Check out a show and win big at the Commerce Casino and Hotel, the home of Mandy's 3, Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Show now mornings 6 to 10 a.m. on LA's mega sports station 710 ESPN. KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The number one most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
So it's like 9:30 this morning. I'm like, Dodgers had a great weekend. Maybe I'll check out the Blue Review.
Swept them, Dodgers did.
So I tuned into the Blue Review, real Dodgers talk every weekday. Bergman Yu and Marcus Grant and Parker Bell did a very, very good job summarizing the great weekend. And you do that every day, right?
Every day, 9:30 to 9:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel.
And is Walker Buehler on a pitch limit tonight, Greg?
No, he's not. I mean, he's already had 6 rehab assignments, so he's all stretched out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't expect him. They might put it on like a pseudo pitch limit. It'd be like 75, you're done.
I'd be surprised if he sees the end of the 5th inning.
Yeah, they wanted to stretch him out to 90 pitches down in
Were you
AAA.
guys disappointed that Luis Ariz got traded to the Padres?
The moment it happened, I was like, oh, damn.
I was like, that's a really good
That's
trade.
a really good trade. And then he had 4 hits in his first game, or 5 hits? 4 hits in his first
Well,
game.
he's led the majors in hits a couple of times in his career.
Yeah, he won the batting title a couple years ago. Yeah.
Last year, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was
he was batting 400 like midway through the season.
Now, I read that the Padres gave up like their 2 best prospects in the deal, and a lot of those baseball-y people, the Buster Olneys of the world, thought the Padres gave up too much, is what they said.
Maybe.
But I think instantly makes them better.
I mean, they're kind of in win-now mode, aren't they?
Sure.
With all the contracts they got down there?
Yep. Got to.
Yep.
All right, 2 o'clock call of the day. Where are we going? Let's go to Marcus in Artesia. Marcus, you're on 710. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yo, have you guys ever noticed, like, the Lakers players who go somewhere else always shoot better or they could score for some reason on the Lakers? I think the reason why is because the Lakers are currently revolving their offense around LeBron like as if he was still 20, 25 years old, where just let him cook, put shooters around him, X, Y, and Z. So the coaches come in and run that same offense and think it's going to get better. But it's not, because LeBron can't do that for a full game. Those players go other places and score because they get plays ran for them to get them cooking first. Every time D'Lo went off was when he was able to run the offense through him, but then every time he sat around and waited for LeBron to give him the ball, he kind of was cold. And I just think nobody's talking about that. So you can replace the coach, but if you don't change the mind frame, then we're stuck again.
Yeah.
Well, they do replace the coach often, and it doesn't always fix the problem. So I think that's a really fair assessment of what's going on.
And I think also, look, people need to wrap their heads around that the Lakers, by all accounts, are going to do whatever it takes to keep LeBron James. And that's going to include an extension that could include drafting Bronny James at 55 or signing him as an undrafted free agent or whatever that happens to be. They'll do whatever they have to do to keep LeBron James. And when you have LeBron James on your roster, you have to know that his fingerprints are everywhere.
And in return, he has to play like an all-NBA player, and this year he did.
Yep,
So as long as he does that, then the partnership works.
All right, let's go to Mario in Hawthorne. Different subject. Mario, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon. Hey, first off, before I forget, I just wanted to say to Lana, you are awesome. You rock. You're a great addition to the show. You have a great radio voice, and I value your opinion. So just wanted to throw that in there really quick.
Very nice.
But I'm calling today because Mace, Ireland, you guys are wrong about customer service.
All right, tell us why.
I'm a customer service manager for an online company, and customer service is not easy. I do a lot of hiring, and I have to weed out people that think that they can do customer service because they think anybody can do customer service, but they can't.
Right.
And so one of the questions I ask them is, how do you tell a customer they're wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And people that have never done customer service, they always whip out the old, oh, the customer is always right, ha, 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 ha. And that's how I know they've never actually done customer service, and that's it, that I'm not hiring that person. This has worked for me for a few years now, and I'm sorry, but the customer's not always right. And when they're not right, you have to know how to tell them they're wrong without telling them they're wrong.
So what do you say? How do you tell a customer they're totally in the wrong?
You just have to tell them, hey, I'm sorry if that's what you interpreted, or I'm sorry if that's how you saw it. You usually have to let them down easy. You can say stuff like, you know what, other customers have made that same mistake, or a lot of people will make that mistake, and here's how we can fix this, and here's what we do, and you just focus on the solution at that point. But you can't let them know that they're always right, or the customers are going to walk all over you.
Okay. Thank you. Mario, that does not jive with my experience when I own movie theaters. If somebody walked out of the theater and said, I didn't really like that movie, I'd say, all right, here's a pass. Come back and see one you like.
What if they said, like, that movie was screaming and yelling at you? Like, would you still do it?
Yeah, I would give them a pass to come back and see another
They
movie.
They watched the whole movie and they came out.
All I want is the goodwill for them to come back.
Greg, you'd be a terrible customer service representative.
I was a wonderful customer.
Think about what Mason did in that scenario. Guys yelling and screaming. He hated the movie.
No, he's not the one.
But he picked the movie. Nobody
Right?
forced him to go.
Right,
to the
but
movie.
he's unhappy with his experience. So Mason
That's his
says,
problem.
"Here's a you're wrong too. Here's a pass
to come back and
to
see
come
another
back and see
movie."
it." So what does Mason get? He gets they buy popcorn, they buy Cokes. They had a good experience with Mason, so
They
they're
saw
not
a
gonna
better movie the next
write
time, and
the
they kept
theater
coming
off.
back.
Greg, tell me how you would have handled this. A couple years ago, I went and saw Lakers were playing in Philadelphia, and I rented a car from a car service called Kite. Okay, they'll come to you and bring you the car. So they come to me, bring me the car. I drive it to my uncle's, and I park it on the street out in front of the hotel. And very clearly, the street sign says that it's 2-hour parking starting at 9 a.m. So I know I have to get the car out of there by 9 a.m.
Sure.
Okay. 8:30, I go down to get the car. It's gone. It got towed. The guy, the tow truck driver, jumped the gun. All right, but I took pictures of the sign. I took pictures of where I went, and I called Kite. And Kite said, "So what? They towed it. You got to pay for it. You got to pay $250."
I wouldn't have done that. You were right.
And I said, "No.
This
Let me
is
send
insane.
you this picture, and I'll show you. This was a mistake by the tow truck driver." And the guy says, "Doesn't matter. You get the car towed. You got to pay for it." So I've never used Kite again.
Right,
ever.
but you were in the right in this situation. Like, imagine if let's say it's the movie theater, and it's about whether the customer is being a jerk for the most part. So he's in the movie theater, he's throwing things, he's on his phone,
then
he's
he's
talking
then
on
he's
the phone.
he's kicked out of
That's
the
not
theater.
scenario. He
Right,
didn't
but
like
it's-
the movie.
But the whole thing about this is about bad customer service, like a bad customer, someone that's wrong. When a customer is wrong, in this situation, a customer's not wrong. He didn't like the movie, so he has to have done
But
something
Mason,
wrong.
Mason doesn't have to refund his money.
Right, I don't have
Is
to
the
give him a
customer
pass.
still right? No, yeah, okay. Is the customer still right, even though he's throwing stuff at the screen?
Well, no, then
annoying
he's getting
customers?
arrested. If
Then
you're
he's
throwing stuff at the
disturbing- then he's
screen, I'm
disturbing
calling the
another
police.
person's experience.
Right,
But
that's
Mason
saying the
was under
customer's not
no
always
okay
right.
in the scenario that Mason described. He's under no obligation to give this guy his money back.
No.
Laura, to your point, he watched the whole movie. The movie sucked. Everybody who's ever been to the movies knows once you decide to go to the movie, if you don't like it, tough luck.
Yeah.
This guy decided to make an issue out of it, and Mason could have gone, "Sir, it's our policy. You saw the whole movie. I'm sorry you had a bad experience, but we don't refund people that see the whole movie." You easily could have done that, and people would have sided with you.
Sure.
He created a win-win. He said to the guy, "You know what? Come on back.
And then
I'm
he comes
sorry
back.
you didn't like it.
Yep. Come
if
back
it-
and
now,
see the next one. And buy some popcorn and soda while you're
And
here.
what happens when he does it again? And he
And
goes
then,
to see the
then
movie,
Mason
comes back
pulls the
out and says,
plug
"I
on him.
hated that
Says,
movie."
"You know, it's the second time you've done it. I'm sorry, but maybe you better go to
No,
another
customer's
movie
always
house."
right. In your scenario, customer's always right.
You need to manage each situation.
Well, that's my point. You just made my point.
But you don't manage them all. You just say you're wrong.
No, absolutely
You wouldn't
not.
have given
Why
that
did I-
guy
I
that
think
guy
you're
who came
right.
to you, the guy that came to you and says, "I didn't like the movie." You were going to say, "Tough luck. No refund."
I think it's because people take advantage of you doing that. Because I was a manager at a fast food joint,
Right.
And people would be like, "Oh, I ordered this. They just didn't hear me because they wanted to get whatever for free."
Right.
You know, and sometimes you're like, "Okay, you know what? We'll fix it just to
Sure.
get it quick in and out." But then you would be like, same person, or people like they hear it now they're doing it.
Greg, what didn't you watch?
Each situation is different. Is only my point.
All right, didn't you watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Of course I did.
When Judge Reinhold yells at the customer who wanted a refund for his breakfast, what happens to Judge Reinhold?
Didn't he get fired?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
It's
just
also- he
give
was
the
in a
guy his
bad
money
mood.
and let him go.
And
He was in a
by the
bad
way,
mood.
when
He
you're
had some
involved in a
issues with
situation like
emails.
this, there's a phrase called cost of goods. What was my cost of goods on handing somebody a movie pass?
And by the way, Mason's going to show the movie at 4:00 anyway, whether there's anybody in the theater or not. Why not get somebody in there, but they'll buy popcorn? You mismanaged this whole thing, Greg.
We've come to this place.
Well, you're taking one small situation.
For magic.
Greg, we come to this place for magic.
Yeah, apparently this guy doesn't. He's coming to get as many free things as possible.
Right. But Mason won because he bought popcorn that was marked up by 700%.
Until he comes back again the next day and says, I didn't like that movie
Well, then you
either.
don't
Do I sell more popcorn?
Wait, if you do it, if they get the ticket, but they have to spend X amount? That's
No,
cool.
I don't put
They don't
a
have to spend
restriction
it, but
on
they're gonna.
Yeah,
Just saying.
they will. It's natural.
Mr. Classic on YouTube says it the best. So that's like saying the Lakers sucked tonight and lost. Can I get my money back for the ticket?
Well, it's right.
It's not different.
No,
it's not
it is.
different.
It is different.
No,
it is
it's
different.
not.
How is it different?
It's different because Lakers tickets
I
are
did not
expensive
like
and
my
movie tickets are all the same price.
Doesn't matter. I did
No,
not
they're
like
not.
my experience. I want my money back.
What the Lakers
You don't
don't
give it
have,
back to 'em. You don't
what
say,
the
okay,
Lakers
you're gonna
don't
go
have
back
is
and get-
capacity to bring somebody back for another game because the tickets are already sold. As a movie theater, you got all kinds of capacity.
You are both right.
We come to this place.
Come to this place for
For
magic.
magic. Greg, you have no
Damn it.
magic.
Yeah,
No, I have no magic.
no
I
magic.
hate joy like Mason.
Yeah, no magic. No magic. That's not my game, by the way.
What?
Not liking joy. I'm
You hate-
pro joy.
You hate joy.
I'm pro joy.
You're anti-joy.
No.
Yeah, you're about half and
Give
half.
me an incident where I'm anti joy.
Everything
I'm like
Halloween.
Well, Halloween is stupid.
Well, there you
You
go.
don't like, wait, you don't like
Halloween's
Disneyland.
fun.
Yeah,
You
but
don't like Disneyland.
You don't
We're
like
allowed to have
Disneyland.
one.
What
We're
about-
allowed to have one
okay, what about
holiday we don't like.
Disneyland?
Disneyland is great for people, not me. But I know people that love it.
What about Christmas?
I love Christmas. Christmas starts on November the 1st. That's when I put up my tree every year.
What do you think of people that leave their Christmas lights up until March?
They're lazy.
Losers. They're
No
losers.
joy.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. All right.
That was fun.
You guys are all wrong.
We're all wrong, honestly.
You're all,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're all
everybody's
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody was wrong.
Except the customer. The customer's right.
Something happened over the weekend in the NBA that drives me frickin' crazy.
Oh, no.
I cannot believe this keeps happening.
Replay?
Someone needs, it does nothing to do with replay.
Oh, wow.
Somebody needs to put a stop to these morons, and
Yes.
I say it's Adam Silver. Do it, Adam. Do it. I'll tell you what it is next.
All right. Mother's Day is Sunday, and your mom has contributed to your life in so many ways. She's helped you as you've lived in different places, helping to fulfill your career. You are a math wizard, but you wouldn't have passed algebra without her. Because of her support, you're an honor roll student, all that stuff. Your mom is important. She did everything for you. She juggled work and family and home and all this other stuff I didn't even think about. So Mother's Day, you can give mom her flowers. I'm sending farm fresh flowers from Bouqs, that's short for bouquets. And I got you 25% off your entire Bouqs purchase, so you can send some too. Here's why I like the Bouqs company. Bouqs is different. Their flowers are cut fresh and sourced directly from the best flower farms, so they last way longer. They even have flowers that are grown on the side of a volcano. Bouqs has got modern designs, unique flowers you can't find anywhere else. They're simple. Go online. Pick the delivery date. Done. Bam. Mother's Day is Sunday. Don't miss the chance to thank your mom. Order your Bouqs right now, and with 25% off, you can send some to your wife and to your grandma and to your favorite aunt and all the women in your life. Go to Bouqs.com. Use promo code ESPN for 25% off. That's BOUQS.com. Promo code ESPN. Bouqs. Promo code ESPN. Mason and Ireland. 710 ESPN.
Don't miss.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Mason and Ireland, the OGs of LA Sports Radio.
I'm not going to do a namby-pamby interview.
Well, you do namby-pamby interviews all the time.
We're here each weekday, 12:55 p.m. till 3:55 p.m. You don't want to miss a moment, yo.
The only thing that did was make you look stupid.
More of Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN.
So, Ireland, I'm in my summer shred right now.
How's that going?
You know, I'm definitely cutting. I'm reducing what I'm eating. I'm working out like a crazy person. I was there all weekend long doing cardio. I'm
I
back.
thought you were taking weekends off.
No, I decided I was going to go because it's the summer shred. I want to look good with my shirt off. It's the goal.
How much do you weigh now?
192.9.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not about weight, by the way. Too.
No, it's not.
It's about muscle.
Correct. It's mine. I mean, I'm definitely.
Do you feel partly shredded?
I feel slightly shredded.
Slightly shredded.
Slightly
So
shredded.
Is slightly better than
low
partly?
key shredded.
Low key shredded. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good way to put it.
Well, describe it. So Ireland, this first of all, we got to say Anthony Edwards, like one of the great young players in the NBA right now, but he had an incident over the weekend in Game 1 with the Nuggets.
All right, explain this to me. The NBA is kind of having a renaissance. All the young players and all the young teams are advancing to the finals. It's exciting. It's new. Anthony Edwards is the brightest star of this new wave of people, of this Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Edwards movement.
Yep.
All right? These guys, Jamal Murray, all these guys in their 20s.
Yes.
That are, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, all these dudes. So, huge game in Denver on Saturday.
Yep.
Minnesota upsets Denver.
Okay.
And Anthony Edwards goes off.
Right.
Plays out of his mind. Drops 40 on the Nuggets. He scores on Reggie Jackson, and he just stares at him.
Yep.
Doesn't say a word.
Yep.
Just stares at him.
Yeah.
Courtney Kirkland, the official, gave him a technical foul. I've always said refs are too...
What did he do, though?
Stared at him like this. He made a basket and just stared at him like, I got you.
Really?
Didn't say a word. Now, it's not just me saying this. Reggie Miller and Jamal Crawford were working the game, and listen to what they said after Courtney Kirkland teed up Anthony Edwards.
Working his way in, plies his way for two. Pretty play, a 9-1 run Minnesota.
Oh, come on, man. No way.
Come on, man.
No
Courtney.
way.
No, Courtney. I'm sorry. Man, we're in the second round of the playoffs. Emotions are always going to be high. Here's the move by Anthony Edwards. Man, that's just a look. Come on. That's a bad technical.
That's awful. You can't celebrate somebody for being a dog, then we call a technical on a stare down. Like,
man, come on, man. What does this game come to? Didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word. Now, to the NBA's credit, they rescinded the technical.
Well, it's...
Because it was stupid.
Long after.
But that could have decided the game.
Sure.
The Wolves won by, I think, 8. And, if they would have won if the Nuggets would have won by 1, we'd all be saying, what the hell?
Yeah.
I would sit that ref for the rest of the playoffs. I'd say, you know what? Go think about what you did. Come back next year.
Now, why do you think Adam Silver allows all this stuff?
Well,
why does
he obviously didn't because he rescinded it.
Right, but why does he allow all the stuff that you hate?
Because he's trying to get the games more under control. He doesn't want players yapping and yelling and stuff
But how's
like
that stare part of keeping control of a game?
The ref made a mistake. I mean, people make mistakes. I'm not saying Courtney Kirkland should be fired. He's a veteran ref. I'd sit him for the rest of the playoffs. You can't stop the game on that. You can't. It could have determined a playoff game.
Right.
You can't do it. I don't understand. Michael talks about this all the time when he and I do games. When Michael was there and players would yell at the refs would yell back.
Right.
They'd say, shut up and play, you big baby, or shut the F up. And then they would just keep going. Why are we... Okay, number one, I don't like that they stopped the game. And number two, I don't like that they gave Denver points for not... Anthony Edwards just stared at him. That's all he did.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Why are there so many technical fouls? Stop it. Adam Silver should get with the competition committee over the summer and say, look, new policy moving forward. Don't stop the game unless you absolutely have to. Before you blow your whistle, think about it. Do I need to call a hand check 75 feet away from the basket? No, I can yell at the player.
Right.
Take your hand off him or I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
And then we keep playing. Why is this so hard?
Well, why are they not instructed on this? Why? Where is the training? How does a guy who's trained as an NBA official and has gone through, I'm sure, seminars and study and all that, how is he still screwing this thing up?
Because they're all on power trips. It's Barney Fife. I'm in charge.
Okay, but if you're in a
here.
power trip, there's no place for you as an NBA official.
Correct. But
so this guy
by the way,
should be out of the playoffs.
Baseball umpires are worse.
Right. Well, they get we see they're graded, but because of the union, that's the problem is the union. The problem is the union.
We sound like a political show now. Unions are the
but
problem.
The reason why you can't get rid of Angel Hernandez is because of the union.
Correct. But you know what they're going to do to make up for him? They're going to put in an electronic strike zone so he can't screw it up.
They will overcome
they're
that.
They're going to outsmart the union.
Yes, they will.
But the NBA very quietly grades their officials every game, and the bottom 5% get weeded out.
Yeah.
And they bring in new people every year. If I get an NBA officiating job, and it's not easy. I know a lot of these guys.
Right.
It's not easy. It's a hard job. Stop calling technical fouls unless you absolutely have to. I've said it before, Mace. If I was an official, to get a technical foul, you'd have to put your hands on me.
Right.
You can MF me till the day is long, and I'll MF you right back. And if you keep talking, I'm going to say, you keep talking, and I'm going to tee you up. This is your last warning. These guys don't even give him any conversation back.
Right.
They don't say Anthony Edwards stared at Reggie Jackson when he's having his best game of his career. And they tee him up.
In a lot of ways, his coming out party.
Right.
A lot of here we are in the Western Conference Semi. All of a sudden, you're playing the champs. People are paying attention.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop calling technical fouls for no reason. It's stupid. And Anthony Edwards is a great player. Let him play. Let him show emotion, like Reggie and Jamal said. This is an emotional game. It's the second round of the playoffs. We love it. What's wrong with a little trash talking? What's wrong with a little stare down? If it doesn't get physical, let it go. So stupid. Stop it.
Yeah, you got to call
Charles Barkley. I feel better now.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you were able to vent. Tell you what, coming up next for you, George Clooney allows himself a comfort meal every week.
Really?
And I'm
You gotta
curious.
start doing that.
I'll tell you what it is, and then the question is, what would be a good comfort meal for each of us?
I got a good one.
We will do that coming up for you. Also, did I do the Blue Review? Is that over? Okay, don't forget
do it again.
Blue Review every morning at 9:30 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, time to talk about iSpot Active. If you play pickleball, tennis, soccer, basketball, football, are your knees sore? Does your back hurt? Back pain and knee pain are the most common soreness that people encounter. That's why you need iSpot Active. This is wearable cryotherapy. You put on these compression shirts and pants that have slots for these gel packs. They call them flex pods because they wrap cold around your elbows, your knees, wherever you're sore. You leave this on for 20 minutes, and if you're like me, you're going to feel better. Go to that website, iSpotActive.com. That's the only way you can get this stuff for now. They're working on getting it on Amazon and a bunch of other places. But right now, only way you can get it is go to that website, iSpotActive.com. When you go there, you'll see James Worthy. He's one of the owners of the company. You'll see a testimonial from a doctor. It'll answer any questions that you have. Stop being sore. Keep doing the things you love to do. Buy one of these iSpot Active compression shirts or pants, and you'll have it for the rest of your life, and you'll be less sore. Try it. Everybody who has loves it. And here's the best part. Let's say you don't like it. Doesn't work for you for whatever reason. 100% money-back guarantee, and there's free shipping. So you got nothing to lose. Check them out today. iSpot Active, iSpotActive.com.
Coming up today at 4.
Get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. And we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
All right, Ireland, here's where I got my money tonight. You ready?
Yes.
Denver -6.5 at home against Minnesota.
Don't like it.
You don't like it?
I love Minnesota.
You think Minnesota's going to win?
Let me ask you guys something about this. I know I think they may cover the spread.
Oh, may
I
cover
think
the 6.5.
But let me ask you guys all something.
Yeah.
All right. So you could argue that this game tonight is the biggest game in Minnesota Timberwolves franchise history. They've pulled off a shocking upset. If they win tonight, they go back home up 2-0.
Yep.
Rudy Gobert, Greg, your favorite guy.
Overrated.
Oh, boy.
His girlfriend or his wife, I'm not sure if they're married, gave birth to their first child yesterday.
Congratulations.
Good for them. Congratulations.
Very nice.
That's a
Or maybe it was this morning.
That's
I'll have to
nice.
read up on
That's
it.
nice.
Gobert says he might make it back in time for the game. He might make it back. I think the game's at like 5 o'clock tonight.
Well, you guys are dads, so you're obviously cool with this, right?
But here's the thing.
The baby boy was delivered this morning.
Okay, so it was this morning.
Yep.
Everybody's fine. You would think in modern travel that if it was this morning, Minnesota's not that far from Denver. He gets on a plane. He's good. Would it have been unreasonable for the Timberwolves to say, Rudy, we pay you, whatever would they pay him, $50 million a year. There are very few things that are, if this was a regular season game.
Sure.
If this was
completely different situation.
We would, of course, support you 100%. We desperately need you.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. You're the one guarding him. If we make sure your wife and your child are 100% safe, can you stay in Denver and play in this game?
Right.
Would that have been an unreasonable ask by the Wolves?
In other words, don't go to the
back.
berth. Oh, no. I think you've got to go to the berth.
What?
That's completely unreasonable.
Yeah, you got to go to the
cannot.
berth.
So if the berth was today, if it was at 2:30, he just misses the game tonight.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's up to him.
I'm just asking.
I would try to make the other argument, but I'll get killed because I don't have kids and I don't know what I'm talking about,
I'm just
apparently.
asking. What if it was game 7? Does that matter? Does anything matter?
It's whatever he wants, what Rudy Gobert wants.
Right, but let's say he wants to do both. He wants to play in the game, but he wants to be there for the birth of his child.
If Rudy Gobert wants to be there for the birth of his child, it's Game 7. It's happening as Game 7's happening, and he wants to be at the birth of his child.
Just
you
let him go.
100%, you let him go.
Has that ever happened?
I'm sure.
No, the only thing I can think that's
People miss
comparable to that would be
but
Sandy Koufax
didn't pitch in the World Series on the Sabbath, right?
On Yom Kippur.
Right.
Doesn't someone miss the Super Bowl for birth of a child?
I know we've talked about they
Rams.
could miss it, but I don't think they did.
Right.
And
way.
I think it's incredibly important that you're there for the birth of your children. I was there for the birth of my son. I think it's great. I'm fascinated by the question, though.
Yeah.
That
because you don't know what's going to happen, John. You don't know if there's
I'm
gonna be
fully aware of that.
complications.
But is there any circumstance? If
Game 7 NBA Finals.
Right.
No
Rudy
matter what-
Gobert's
Greg, does that
girlfriend
matter?
goes into labor.
Game 7 NBA Finals doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No matter
No,
what it
well,
is.
Game 7 of the NBA
premise-
Finals. No, I think you got to
The
go.
premise of your question was, would it be okay for the team to ask? The team can never, ever, ever ask. 100%, absolutely not.
Well, he could
you
say
cannot
no.
ask him.
No employer should ever.
I mean,
do
he could say no.
Yeah,
but
I don't know if an employer is even allowed to say you're
think,
not
like, you
allowed to
can.
attend the
No,
birth
yeah.
of your
No,
kid.
the Minnesota Timberwolves could never tell him you can't go to go see.
Would
your
it be
child."
okay? How about this?
He can choose to stay.
Would
on his
it
own.
be unreasonable for the Wolves to have anticipated this and say, okay, you can't fly when you're so many certain amount of months pregnant,
Right.
but if we make you comfortable, will you come to Denver and have the baby in Denver? Or is that just a ridiculous overreach by the team?
I mean, you're putting. I don't know how much it works, but I think you're
You
putting the baby in,
give Rudy and his girlfriend a chance to say no. It's
Right.
completely up to them. But look, you're an incredibly important part of our team. This is the best team we've ever had in the history of our franchise, and we just upset the defending champions in Game 1. What can we do
Right.
to make your wife comfortable, to make you comfortable, and to have you play in that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Or is it a non-starter to even bring it up?
I think it should be brought up. I think there should be.
can't
I think there should be options.
I don't
you
think
could
the
do it this way.
team-
You could do it that way. You can help us here. You can help us. I
let-
think it's
you let the
Game
mother-
7 of the NBA
The
Finals.
mother.
But the mother doesn't care, though. It really depends.
But
on
get
what
a
the mother
baby
wants.
and a ring.
Whatever the mother wants.
Get a baby and a ring.
No,
there
no,
is,
hold on.
like
if the mother
Sedano
wants
likes
to
to
stay in
say,
Minnesota,
both things can be true.
Yeah.
Right.
You can make her comfortable and make sure the baby is safe and have him play in that game should you try and do it.
there's so many women that want a specific doctor. They have their
Right.
doctor, they
Oh,
have a
sure.
birth plan, they have everything that's going on.
We'll bring your doctor in.
Yeah,
the
and they
doctor
got
doesn't
like
wanna
a
come?
they got like a doula.
Well, then it's
and
over.
a-
But if let's say the doctor understands and he says, then we
if you
come.
can make that work, then absolutely
yeah, and
fine.
by
But
the
it's
way,
maybe what the mother
that
wants.
doctor, women have a certain obstetrician that they want to go to,
All right,
and that's the person
Laura,
they
how
want to
about
see.
how about this one?
Okay.
Would it have been unreasonable to induce yesterday?
Yes.
Why?
Because a lot of women don't want to do that. They want things to happen naturally. So my thing is, if it's the couple, so his wife or girlfriend or,
Right.
significant other, if they talked about it and they together said, hey, these are the scenarios that can play out, A, B, C, D, all the way, whatever. And then these are what I'm comfortable with. And they themselves together as a unit decided what could potentially happen. And she's okay because I already, if I ever have a kid, I told Christian, you're going to be there suffering with me somehow.
Right.
So,
Now you, by the
Yeah,
way,
by the way, this happened with Scotty Scheffler a couple of weeks ago at a major golf. Was it the Masters?
yeah,
Or-
he said he was going to leave if she went
but
into
it's
labor.
different when it's a team sport because
Correct.
what I do affects all of you.
Yes,
I'm taking you
you're
guys.
diminishing your team in a
Yeah,
critical game.
I'm taking you guys. I'm hurting you by not being there.
I agree, but also, let's just, my whole thing is, listen, I feel like all of us in this room and all of us in the station, we're team players, right? There's a lot that we do cohesively that makes
Right.
things run.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, those are life moments you can't get back. And at the end of the day, if ESPN's like, hey, we don't got jobs for you, you got to go. And then you're like, crap, I just missed the birth of my kid. That's the
Right.
thing.
I
Yeah,
know-
but you're
well,
up
I
2-0
think
in
there's
the
a-
series.
There's a difference between insisting you be there and trying to accommodate everybody, which is what I'm arguing. Would it be reasonable to try and accommodate both scenarios? In other words, do everything you can to get Gobert, or is the birth of a child so sacred that you can't even ask?
Well, you're a father. What do you
can't
say?
even ask the question.
You've got a kid. What do you say?
I think Lisa would tell me to go play.
See, I also think
I would actually.
I would expect my woman
Woman?
to say, "You go win a ring."
You expect, but what if she doesn't? If
Is
she
it baby
says,
one?
"I
Then
want
you-
you
then
here,"
you-
Then you got
then
you
you
go.
go.
No
You
choice.
go no
But
matter what.
what I'm saying is, I'm trying to make it more basic than that. Is it even okay to ask?
I think the ask is okay, but the team
Sure.
shouldn't ask.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
what
can't
that's
they
saying.
can't
The
they
team
give him like
should
a
ask.
private jet and fly
Of
wherever
course.
they? I mean, all that stuff.
They
I
can do
don't
any
think
of
you
that.
can Like
fly
I,
after a
I
certain
would.
time.
Yeah,
I
you
I
can't
would
fly-
hustle.
No, you can't. If you're a certain amounts pregnant, it's not safe
No,
to
no,
fly.
no. I'm saying
but-
now.
Well, I think he's going to be there tonight.
I think he's going to play tonight.
Yeah, and I think he's probably going to play great.
Yeah.
Well, the baby was born in the morning. Luckily, baby was born in the morning.
Right.
You can be there, but also if he decided to stay in Minnesota and not go play in this game,
Yeah.
I would not fault him in the slightest.
I don't think you can, but fans would.
Well, fans are fans. That's fine. But
Right.
as a parent, as a father, I would never give him hell for that. Be like, great, you're staying with your kid. I totally understand that. But if he does go back, fine. You were there, you saw the baby, and you flew out and made it there in time.
Yeah.
Cool. But if he stays, you can't give him crap for it.
Yeah, it's
No,
a
I'm
very
not- I'm not
interest-
gonna give him
it's
crap
a
for
very interesting dilemma. But it is like certain people will kill us for even bringing this up.
Will they?
No, that's
Oh yeah,
dumb. That's
I think you're
dumb.
allowed to bring it up.
One thing that I really enjoyed about that Tom Brady roast last night.
Yep.
Is nobody worried about getting canceled?
Well, no, because it's comedy. Comedy falls into a different category than the rest of life.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of
Especially a
comedians have
roast.
been canceled.
I mean,
A lot of comedians have been
It's
canceled.
not for what they
Two-
say so much on stage. It's for what they do off stage.
yeah, I
Right.
only think of which comedians have been canceled.
Well, I mean, you'd have to go back and look. I mean, Louis C.K. is probably the
Louis
most
C.K.
famous
Yeah,
one.
but that was different. That was actually
got Me Too.
with women and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
I know a woman that was in a Louis C.K. situation.
Right. Well, you know what's so weird about that, which made him different from like Harvey Weinstein, because I read up on all this stuff, is it was a disgusting thing that Louis C.K. did, but you know he always asked permission?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in a it doesn't make it any less
Right.
offensive.
But I think,
but I'm just saying, the thing I loved about that roast was that there are people that because of the climate we live in would have said, well, I can't go there, or I can't. I even thought they wouldn't go near Giselle.
Yeah.
Because I thought Brady would say, they went at everybody.
Yeah, they did.
The only thing that was a
Don't
bridge
talk
too
about
far
Robert
was
Kraft
Robert
calling
Kraft.
around the floor of a massage parlor.
Right. That was the only thing that Brady pulled the plug on, but
Yeah.
everything else was no.
And by the way, that did not even need to have the plug pulled on it. It's like everybody's getting hammered. Why wouldn't Kraft get hammered for his thing?
So you know that Pepe Montilla saw it and asked us in a group text whether we liked it or not, and he said it was just okay because it
By
was
the way,
too
if
mean.
we did Mason,
It was too mean?
Uh,
It was too mean.
A roast.
I love
Too-
that.
yeah,
It
but
was too
you know what's
mean.
funny? So Mason's
my
been
God.
roasted. I've been roasted.
Yes. It's so much fun.
Wouldn't the perfect target for a roast be Pepe Montilla?
Oh, God,
Oh,
Pepe
could
would
he
be
take it?
fantastic.
No, he'd be so
No,
offended.
if he doesn't, if he thinks they were mean at the Brady, they're so mean to Tom Brady.
Yeah,
That's
what
how
is
he
it?
sounds.
What about a roast of Michael Thompson?
Oh, that would actually be very good.
I don't-
Would he
but-
sit
but
for it?
Oh, of course he would. Here's
No,
the
he
thing
wouldn't
about,
go.
Here's the thing about Michael.
We already roast him every time he walks into the
Right.
building.
And he's, I don't think this is a word, but you'll know what I mean. He's unoffendable.
Yeah, he is.
You can't say anything
Although
that would offend him.
you got to say, when we were getting roasted, we got hammered pretty good.
Right.
And we rolled with it.
Yeah, but
you got to roll with it. I mean, I thought it was all really funny.
You and I aren't easily offended.
No, I'm
Michael
not
is,
offendable.
Michael is completely unoffended. I mean, you can't say anything that would embarrass him.
Right.
So, but Brady was great. I mean, he hung in for all of it, and at the end, he came back at everybody.
Yes, he did.
You know, I never thought that thing would be that good.
Yeah, it was very, very funny. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix and it's streaming, and it was really, really funny. The one guy that just killed me was the guy that just went. He walked down a row of
the podcaster
comics.
who I'd never heard of before.
Yeah,
yeah.
What was that guy's name? He just obliterated people going down the row.
Hinchcliffe.
Hinchcliffe,
Tony
yeah.
Hinchcliffe.
I don't know where that guy's from.
He was
I've never
amazing.
seen him before, but man, he destroyed people.
He has a podcast called Kill Tony. Apparently, he's very, very funny.
Clearly.
Him and Nikki Glazer were just
Yeah, I thought they were great. Nikki Glazer, by the way, is a new comedy special on Max right now. I just saw a billboard for it. All right, coming up next for you, going to do some What's Up, Fool. That means...
Real fast, sorry.
Yep.
And this is mostly for John, but according to breaking news, Washington transfer quarterback Demarcus Davis has committed to UCLA.
The Demarcus Davis?
He was the early enrollee, was the
Wait a
number
minute.
8 quarterback in the 2024 on 300.
Where did the five-star
Oregon.
quarterback? He went to Oregon, and
Dante
so now
Moore?
we're
Dante
Moore
Moore,
went
yeah.
to Oregon, and now we're stealing Washington's
Yep,
quarterback.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. We got a quarterback.
Was he their starting
Got a quarterback.
quarterback, or was he just on their depth chart?
Well, no, Michael Penix played almost every snap.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so he isn't really...
Yeah, so he was going to be the next guy.
All right.
I just
But
Kalen
what are we
DeBoer
looking
left,
at? Like
and he came here.
3-9, 4-8,
No, 12-0.
12-0. Oh, just giving them the Raiders treatment. All right.
So, Mace, somebody, let me get this right so I don't Okay, Hooper X.
Mm-hmm.
The roast was great, but the gay jokes got pretty old after a while. Just so lazy.
Were there gay jokes?
I didn't hear any gay jokes. Did you?
Come on now.
There was a
bunch. Like
Edelman went crazy.
Like
with
like telling.
Oh, you're talking about last night. I
telling
thought you were
Brady-
talking at my roast.
No, telling Brady he was gay. Is that what people? Is that what Hooper X is offended by?
They did go pretty hard on that.
Yeah.
But a roast again.
Well, Kevin Hart made a joke about it.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah,
there
he
were
was
multiple
like,
jokes
"Jeez,
about.
it
Yeah.
was such a white person thing to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't offended by any of it. Let her rip. I want to tell you about the LA County Department of Mental Health and their Take Action movement. Take Action is a series of events promoting wellness and well-being, all while sharing the incredible array of resources and services available right here in the city of Los Angeles. Here's this week's Take Action event calendar. Saturday, starting at 11 at the Magic Johnson Recreation Center, 1050 East 12th Street in L.A., and then on Sunday at 11 at Arcadia County Park. Learn more at takeactionla.com. Well-being starts here. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
1 p.m.
And yes, it's around 2:45 in the Southland. You know what we do each weekday at 2:45. What's up, fool? And we've been very excited that What's Up, Fool is made possible by our friends at Dos Hombres. In fact, we've got a special guest voice. Take it away, guest voice.
What's Up, Fool is brought to you by Dos Hombres Mezcal. It's fate. It's friendship. It's mezcal. Dos Hombres.
Look at that. How do I follow that? I don't. So I simply say, take it away, Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Morales. So Jimmy Butler the other day when the Heat were playing the Celtics tweeted out, if I was playing, Boston would be at home. New York damn sure would be at home. What that means to me, Josh Hart, come on, man. Well, Pat Riley was asked about that this morning, and he responded in this way.
For him to say that, I thought, is that Jimmy trolling or is that Jimmy serious? If you're not on the court playing against Boston or on the court playing against the New York Knicks, you should keep your mouth shut in your criticism of those teams.
Jimmy Butler is under contract for next year and a player option in the year after that. He's up for an extension. Are the Heat going to bring back Jimmy Butler?
I think they are. He also said at that same press conference, Greg, that he will not entertain trades for Butler under any condition. He's the perfect leader for that Miami team. But I agree with Riley Mace. I think if you don't play in a series,
you're not allowed to.
You look like an idiot if you come out and say, hey, if I played, we would have won. Well, why aren't you playing?
Right. Yeah, I thought it's a terrible look to knowing that you didn't play in the series to say I would have tilted it one way or the other. And as for Jimmy Butler, he is eligible for an extension. Is that what's going on with Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, he's got one more year after this year. And then he's got a player option the year after that, but he's eligible for an extension this year. And that's why they asked Riley, would you, rather than re-sign Jimmy, would you just trade him? And he said, that's a conversation we have to have, but we're not trading him.
Not trading him.
So they're going to make him an offer to extend, and we'll see where it goes.
What's up, fool?
Speaking of the Celtics, Jason Tatum was in the news last week for posting a new YouTube video. Because he has a personal YouTube account that has only 3 videos on it that he started in high school. And last week he added a how to tie a shoe video.
Okay.
And the caption's just simply, hey, I'm Jason Tatum. I'm going to teach you how to tie a shoe. I don't know. It's kind of cheesy. Not that to knock that he's putting out these YouTube videos. I know one of the most famous YouTube accounts is actually like a single dad doing like how to do household things like that, change your oil and stuff like that.
Right, sure.
Well, what do you think, though, Jason
Brian,
Tatum?
you are underselling how important it is to properly tie your shoes for a basketball player. Matter of fact, Greg, did you ever go to wooden camp when you were a kid?
No, I wish I did.
That was super cheap and easy to get to. The first thing you do at John Wooden's basketball camp back in the day is you get all the campers in a gym, and Coach Wooden puts on a seminar on how to tie your shoes and how to tighten the laces so you don't get blisters, because if you get blisters, you get sidelined. We're just talking about guys missing games. That's what that's about. I mean, shoes,
I'm watching the video right now.
Shoes to basketball players are a very big deal, which is why so many of them have shoe deals, by the way.
Right.
But that's what that's about. I mean, it's not like you or I, we don't think twice about lacing up our shoes or tying our shoes or doing whatever, but the reason it's important for a basketball player is you can get blisters and it can sideline you.
He literally is showing. Well, no, I think he's mocking this whole thing, John. I don't think he's not really seriously showing people how to. It's a total goof. He's not doing anything shoe related.
What's wrong with being goofy?
No, I don't have a problem with it, but he's not like showing how you lace up a shoe for a game. He's just like literally showing people how to tie a knot.
2 most important things when you're a basketball player. 2 pairs of socks, not one, because you need double thickness so you don't get blisters. You got to hike your socks all the way up and tighten your shoelaces as tight as they'll go, and that way you don't get blisters.
Okay, there you go.
That's my public service announcement for the day.
Very nice.
All right, guys, so keeping the basketball theme here going, per Shams Sharamnia, there is a mutual interest between the Magic and Klay Thompson. Do you guys believe that Klay will be a good fit down in Magic?
I got a very weird feeling that Klay has played his last game for the Warriors.
I think so.
I think that Joe Lacob is a bottom line guy, only cares about numbers. I think he's going to try and lowball Klay. And I think a team like Philadelphia, Orlando, or the Knicks that could really use a shooter is going to pay him. And I think he plays for somebody else next year.
100% agree. I think he's going to go somewhere else. I think they realize, especially when they look around the league and see these young and ascending teams, that they should play for the future and not for the past. And for them, they've got they've got Kuminga, they've got that Pajemski kid. They have found a way to add young players where they can.
Moses Moody's a good player.
A youth movement. So I think that's probably the direction they're moving right now, and it's probably the right thing for them.
Yeah, I think Clay is out of there, Laura, to answer your question.
Yeah.
What's up, fool?
No way to get him here.
I don't think we have room to pay him.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean,
think
we'd
we
have
do.
to
We're over
have to shuffle the roster pretty seriously.
Do you really want him?
Well, he'd be perfect for us because LeBron and AD draw double teams, and he could just sit at the 3-point line and bomb threes. But I don't think we can pay him.
Yeah.
No, and I also
Wasn't he
don't.
like
I don't
0
think he
10
makes
in the
sense
last-
from this perspective. I think you want somebody younger. I think you want somebody that is prime at least to build around. Somebody who's a guy that could actually take the baton from LeBron when LeBron does.
Clay would
decide
love to
go.
play here. This was his boyhood team growing up, but I just don't think the numbers were.
Yeah.
What's up, fool?
I got one more on the basketball front for you guys here. So ESPN Bet has updated their odds for the Western Conference champ.
Okay.
The favorite to make it out. And is now Minnesota jumped from 900 to 215 after the first game victory.
So they're now the favorites.
They are now the favorite, yeah.
Favorites to get to the finals?
To come out of the West.
They're still behind Denver, but their odds jumped
Okay,
from
so
900 to 215 to get out of the West.
So they're the second.
They're the
pick
second
out of the
favorite
West.
now, yes.
Yeah.
Well, they should be.
That's my question here. Are they the only team left in the West that can take down Denver?
Dallas is good.
Yeah, I think Dallas has some
Oklahoma
size.
City can take down Dallas, but maybe they can.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't count Dallas completely out. By the way, you got one team of those four that you got to marry yourself to. I think I'm taking Minnesota at this point. With the one to come out of the West.
To come out of the West.
So the entire Mason fortune is on the line.
Yep.
You got to take Minnesota, Denver, OKC, or Dallas.
Denver.
You're taking Denver,
I
Brian.
still
How about
think
you?
Denver.
I think I'm going with Minnesota, too, especially
Greg?
after game one.
I'm taking Denver still.
Laura?
Denver.
Here's the thing. Jamal Murray's not healthy. You can tell watching him play.
Mm-hmm.
I think after tonight we'll know if he can summon something. I mean, he did it against the Lakers a couple of times, but he's not right. Something's going on there. I don't know if it's his ankle, it's his
Well, he
knee.
didn't have a good series against us. I mean, he had two really big shots at the end of games, but I think he shot 31% from the field during that series. So
I think Denver wins tonight. They kind of
I
have
do
to.
too.
But I think Minnesota wins that series.
What's up, fool?
All right, guys, one more
Okay.
basketball one here. So Anthony Edwards has been getting compared to Michael Jordan a lot, and he spoke out and said, I want it to stop. He's the greatest of all time, and I can't be compared to him. Do you guys appreciate that he's asking to stop the comparison?
He can ask. They're not going to stop. I saw 3 more people compare him to Jordan today.
Yeah.
He can ask all he wants, but people aren't going to stop.
Well,
they
I
did it to Kobe, too.
There's nothing wrong with humility. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, he's the greatest, and I'm just out here pushing. So I think that humility is actually a very good look for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, and to answer your question, Laura, people aren't going to stop. Media is media. They'll just say whatever the hell they want.
All right, so don't forget the Mandy's voting is officially open, Bergman.
The Mandy's voting is open, so go to ESPNLA.com and click on the Mandy's 3 voting page logo, presented by the law offices of Joseph S. Norman. Injury attorneys you can trust. 213-747-2000. Vote now for something like Steve Mason for Host of the Year, Laura Romo for Producer or Associate Producer.
Vote
Brian
for the Mason
Associate
and
Producer.
Ireland Show.
Okay. And vote for the Mason and Ireland Show.
Thank you, Brian.
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
Vote now at ESPNLA.com.
All right. There you have that. Coming up next for you, there is one NBA analyst who thinks it's time for LeBron James to retire. We'll do that coming up next. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Show now mornings 6 to 10 a.m. on LA's mega sports station 710 ESPN. KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
It is Mason and Ireland on 710 ESPN. Don't get it twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Ireland's
he played this
Sting Friday night. All around good weekend, huh?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Weather was great. Well, I guess no. Where I was, it was cloudy most of the weekend.
They shut down beach life yesterday for an hour because it was too windy.
Yeah, I think May Gray is officially here. At least
Probably.
where I am,
Yeah.
I think it's.
Lovers and Friends got canceled over the weekend.
Oh, did it? Wow, how's come?
Because of the weather.
Oh, yeah.
That's a concert.
How's come?
How's come?
What's wrong with that?
That's a strange saying.
How's come?
He's just
It's a normal expression.
Is
I'm
it?
sure I've used it a million times on the show. How's come?
What does it stand for? How
come?
How come?
Yeah.
You've never heard that?
How come? Not how's come. How's come is how
How's
is
come?
come.
How's come?
How?
Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
You're just saying that, Ireland. You just want to be on his side because how is come is
Why
not a
would
word.
everyone be on his side? We're on the opposite sides of everything. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
It's opposite me. That's why you're going with him. How's come does not make sense.
How's come does make
There's
sense.
no-
What are you talking about? I agreed with you earlier in the show.
Let me just ask you, Laura, did you understand what I meant?
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay, there you have it. She understood it.
I understand.
I know what
because
you mean.
It
You're
doesn't.
having a rough day,
It doesn't.
Bert. You're having a rough day.
Am I?
Wrong
Am I?
on customer service.
No,
wrong on
right on
how's
customer
come.
service.
You're having
Right
a
on
bad
how's
day.
come. How's come is not
How's
a
come
thing.
is
It's not
officially
a
I'll tell you
thing.
this. I'm glad you're not my godfather because you're not right about
Yeah,
anything.
really. What are you teaching that kid?
I hope you don't teach how's come.
How's come makes perfect
How's
sense.
come makes perfect sense. By the way, you know what else makes perfect sense? It's 5 o'clock Cappy Hour, brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Simple, smooth, every sip as easy as the last. Tito's Handmade Vodka tastes as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Don't miss the Tito's Vodka 5 o'clock Cappy Hour this afternoon at 5 here on 710 ESPN. All right, so I don't know if you heard this or not, but it's buzzing around the internet like crazy. What Kendrick Perkins said about LeBron. Did you hear this, Ireland? Here it is.
Let's hear it.
At the end of the day, man, I hate to say it, but I believe this in my soul right now. I wish LeBron James will retire. Not because I don't want to see more of LeBron James, not because I don't appreciate LeBron James, but I honestly believe deep down inside, the more LeBron James continue to play the game of basketball, the more it's going to hurt his legacy. And the more it's going to continue to hurt his GOAT argument. Because as long as he steps foot on that floor, every single season, it's going to be expectations of him of winning a championship. And when he don't do that, we're going to be looking at him and saying, well, what happened now? So now you're looking at the Lakers. They're most likely going to re-sign LeBron James back this upcoming season. The coach that you bring in, if they don't make it to the finals or the Western Conference Finals, who's going to be to blame then?
All right, so I could not be more opposed to what Kendrick Perkins is saying.
Well, he's just flat wrong, and
Yeah.
I can tell you why. So you mentioned that I went and saw Seal and Sting. Those guys have enough money; they could both retire.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad they didn't.
Sure.
They're fun. They're entertaining. LeBron is entertaining.
Sure.
He makes the games more fun.
He's
more,
also great.
More exciting. He's one of the better players on our team. And this contention by people like Perk that say he's going to affect his legacy. Study the history of sports. Shaq played for 5 teams at the end of his career.
Right.
What did that do to his legacy? Hakeem Olajuwon finished his career in Toronto. How many teams did Steve Carlton pitch for?
Right,
At
and
the
here-
end? None of that affected their legacy.
You're even talking about guys that
I watched Michael Jordan play for the Wizards.
You're talking about guys that sort of bounced around and flamed out. You know what? LeBron James is still I mean, he's past the top of the mountain, but he's still pretty high up there.
Mace, does anyone ever talk? Michael Jordan's considered the greatest of all time. Does anyone ever talk about going to the Wizards and how it ruined his legacy? What is
only when we have a conversation like this?
Yeah, but I mean,
and Willie May is limping around the outfit, stuff like that.
Birthday today.
Oh, is it
93 today?
Oh my God, my dad loved Willie Mays.
Nobody talks about Willie Mays at the end of his career with the Mets stumbling around in the outfield,
except when we have this conversation.
Right, but I'm saying that's not his legacy.
Well, no, not at all.
And LeBron's legacy is locked.
And again,
it doesn't matter.
He had a great season. He had a spectacular season. It's not as though he's in great decline. I mean, his skills have not
at all.
His skills have not diminished. So I don't understand the argument that he should retire. What do you got?
McMenamin is on ESPN right now. He's moved over to the Wolves Nuggets series now that the Lakers have been eliminated. And he is reporting that Rudy Gobert is questionable tonight after the birth of his child, that he may not make it.
Okay.
So that'll be he's got to make it, right? The game doesn't tip for another 2 hours.
I think he's going to make it.
The kid was born this morning.
Yeah, I think he's going to make it. Now, we were talking about the Tom Brady roast last night, which was, if you didn't see it, everybody got just crushed during this. I mean, it was
awesome.
Now, we mentioned that I had a roast, and we actually have a couple of clips from it. Bergman, do you want to set these up?
So here is Momo at the roast. I believe she's talking about Ireland.
We're here at the beautiful Commerce Casino. And to be honest, I like casinos, but I've never done all that well here. I mean, I've been here like a few hours, and I've already lost $100 because, like an idiot, I bet that John Ireland would be funny.
See, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, John's an inspiration to me. He's such a hard worker. He hosts a radio show 5 days a week. He calls Laker games. And then on the weekends, look at the Laker fans here. I like it. Oh, my God, they're proud again. They're proud again. And then, John hosts the show 5 days a week. He calls Laker games. And then on the weekend, he drives up to Yosemite, where his forehead works as Half Dome. Oh, was I allowed to go there? I don't know.
If Ramona has a roast, I'm going first.
Oh, me too. I want a spot in that roast.
I just shouldn't make fun of men for their hairlines. It's genetic. I know. They can't help it. Besides, there are so many other things to make fun of the Kamenansky brothers for.
Yeah, she was good.
She was good.
She roasted both of us.
Yes, she did.
Well, apparently she roasted me twice. But Ramona's for whatever reason, Ramona likes to roast me. Like when she fills in for
you're
me,
right.
she roasts
she
me.
always roasts you.
Yeah.
Like she'll say stuff, and you know how when we push the
right.
We do not want to be associated with some of the things
when
that
she
Momo
makes
says.
it big after Clipped debuts, and we have the Momo roast.
Yes,
you and I will be the stars of that show.
Absolutely. Now you have another clip, Bergman.
There is another clip, and this one's from O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Right, he's got the numbers. He's been repping Los Angeles for years. He's been holding us down for years in that number one spot. He's definitely got the awards and the stats. But you're low-key bad luck. You were at both World Series. We lost those. You were at the Super Bowl. We lost that. You were at the Rams-Buccaneers game this year. And we lost that. And not to mention, you were just at this last Dodger game, and we lost that. So I started to think, he's got the stats, he's got the accolades, but he seems to be bad luck in big games. You must be the Clayton Kershaw of 7:10 a.m.
Oh, man. Kershaw.
Taking a Kershaw shot. Wow.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. There you go. There's O'Shea Jackson. Yeah, that was a fun night. Pepe says, by the way, we could totally roast him and his feelings won't be hurt.
I don't believe him. I think he would be hurt.
He says, you can't hurt my feelings. I've already gone through a lot of, and he makes the poop emoji, in my life, smiley face. So he says he's already gone through it. Nothing we could say. And frankly, we kind of do roast Pepe every Thursday.
Okay, would it be more fun...
Or la-di-da.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg, would it be more fun to roast Pepe, Momo, or Michael?
God, they're all so good. I think Momo would get offended.
No, I think
don't
Momo.
care.
I know. You don't care? Yes,
Momo's my first choice.
Yeah.
I would go Momo.
I don't care
then.
if she gets offended.
Yeah. So if
I will
we
dress
can
head
go
to toe in, I'll look like a freaking Cal yell leader at that roast.
I think that would be the funniest.
Yeah, I will bring a Cal megaphone. I'll find somebody that's a cheerleader at Cal to give me all his stuff.
Because Michael, you're right. Michael won't get offended by any of it, and would just. It'd be funny because
But
when
could
it's
we
Michael's
completely take the gloves off like they did last night with Momo? We probably couldn't because she's a woman.
Well, we also probably couldn't because we never quite do. We didn't obliterate people during our roasts like they were getting obliterated last night.
They obliterated us though,
right?
me
but,
and you.
But nothing like.
Yeah, last night was.
It's not Jeff Ross coming in to roast us.
Yeah.
It's the Kamenetskis.
Like your forehead is low hanging fruit.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
But I mean,
it's a gimme. It's a short putt.
But
right, the Jimmy Neutron thing that's just out there already.
Yeah, people know the Jimmy Neutron.
But
bit.
I'm starting to think, Momo, we would probably, because of political correctness, we probably couldn't attack a woman the way we could attack a man. So maybe it would be.
Well, the word attack is probably the wrong word.
No, in a roast, that's what you do. What did they do to Tom Brady?
They
roasted
him.
They attacked him.
Yeah, we keep saying they obliterate. I mean, Nikki Glaser rolled with everything.
Yeah, she did.
Right. And Nikki Glaser was the butt of a lot of jokes after she did her thing.
Yes, she
but
was.
Nikki Glaser's a comedian.
Yeah.
I wonder, you know what we should do? We should have Momo in here one day, and we should try out jokes for the
try
roast.
some material?
And see if she gets offended.
That's a good bit.
Sure.
I like. What do you think,
Or
Bergman?
do we wait and see if there actually is a Ramona roast and hold on to it?
We'll wind up our best shots.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
see.
talk about it.
We'll either do the roast or we'll just do it on the air. We'll pretend we're roasting her.
Just do it at the Mandy's.
Yeah, the Mandy's is another place.
Yeah, but that's Morales controls it.
Ridiculous. Nobody's controlling. And by the way, the voting page is now open.
Oh,
so
is
make
it?
your vote count for the biggest night of the year. Mandy's 3. Go to ESPNLA.com and click on the Mandy's 3 voting page logo. Presented by the Law Office of Joseph S. Norman. Injury attorneys you can trust. 213-747-2000. Vote now at ESPNLA.com.
By the way, my Russian bot army.
They can control.
Oh, they can compete.
Are they on the job?
They can compete.
Can
with
they
the Circle
outvote
of Trust.
the Circle of Trolls?
Don't call them trolls.
Yeah, the Circle of Trolls.
Circle of Trust. Circle of Trust.
Yeah, the Circle of Trolls are going to show up big for the Mandy.
I don't know why.
They
The
always
Circle
do.
of Trust is very, very friendly to us.
No, they're not.
Are they? Well, I'm in the Circle of Trust. I see the tweets. Yeah, they love us.
Well, they all love you. They hammer me and Laura and Greg.
Well, the Circle of Trust loves me.
Yeah, they love Laura, Queen. Queen Laura.
Yep.
All right, coming up next, I did that Clooney thing. Clooney once a week has a cheat meal, and I will tell you what that is, plus what are our favorite cheat meals coming up next. Mason, Ireland, 710 ESPN.
All right, time to tell you about ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring or if you're looking for a job, you got to go to ZipRecruiter, and right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter uses the most powerful matching technology to quickly find and send you the most qualified people for your roles. Ian Siegel, who invented ZipRecruiter, says, we don't leave anything to chance. And he's talking about his algorithm that matches your skill set with the jobs that are available. It's that simple. So speed up your hiring process with ZipRecruiter. Go to that exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/LA. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/LA. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You never have to miss a moment of LA's
At ESPN, the OGs of LA Sports Radio, we're here each weekday, 1 to 4 p.m. for your afternoon. Sandwiched between Travis and Sliwa and Sonato and Cap. Mason and Ireland continues now.
All right, so George Clooney, who is a very successful and dashing man who's married to the lovely Amal, and they live in Lake Como, Italy. So everybody, by the way, it's National No Diet Day. I realized
Today?
I realized as I saw this that I think I've been on a diet my entire life. I think very rarely am I off some kind of diet. You disagree with that, Bergman?
Most of your life on the show, you haven't been on a diet. Popeye's chicken sandwiches ring a bell? Ordering donuts?
I mean, that's old. That's
not a diet.
That's old stuff. That's old.
Diet just means you're eating.
Yeah, that's old stuff.
Reprogram.
So here's Clooney. He says every once in a while, or every week, he needs to have a cheat meal, or what he calls a comfort meal. And his answer to this is really weird. He says he wants a pizza, a margarita pizza, with arugula salad on top of it. Now,
a little weird.
Why mess up pizza with a salad? Like, the whole point of pizza is I don't have to eat a salad tonight. Why do I want a pizza full of salad?
The lettuce on top of the margarita pizza tastes delicious.
Yeah, but it's an arugula salad on top of my pizza when I could just have a pizza.
Because it tastes good together.
Yeah, all right. So comfort food, Bergman.
Yeah, comfort food?
Yeah, for you.
If I'm going like full out?
Yeah, full out comfort food. How about you have no respect left?
No respect.
You have no self-respect. Where do you order?
I'm definitely going pizza, by the way, and I'm getting a very large pizza. I go with Canadian bacon and onion, and I'm gonna get those breadsticks that have the garlic knots. The garlic.
Oh, those are
breadsticks.
good.
Oh, they're so.
What
good.
about the ones that have the cinnamon and then you dip them in the ice?
See,
Oh God,
so
those are so good too.
Yeah, I'll just keep going on that.
Yeah.
So wait, I can eat whatever I want, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be balanced.
Correct.
Or anything.
You just I want to feel better. This is the meal that's going to make me feel better. What is it?
Banana split.
Banana split.
Yeah, for dinner.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you actually make banana splits?
No, but I'd like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that hard.
It's
banana
always the most
ice cream.
expensive thing at an ice cream shop.
Yes, it is.
You know,
Yes,
because it's
it
got
is.
so much stuff in it.
Yeah. Laura, comfort food.
Ooh, I don't eat a lot of pasta anymore, so like a fettuccine Alfredo sauce with a broccoli in there. Yeah, that's probably me.
Brian?
That was my thought, too. Just some plain spaghetti with some meat sauce.
You know,
no meatballs?
I don't know, meat sauce, like ground beef in it.
Yeah,
I like that
a
better
bolognese.
than the
Like a
meatballs.
bolognese.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God, a good
So
bolognese is so good. Pasta is always going to be a comfort food for me because I grew up, eating pasta 3 times a week. My mom always had a pot of sauce on the stove.
I'm surprised you are not camped out because you live so close to Felix in Venice because they make their own pasta there.
Yeah, we don't go to fancy restaurants all the time.
Well, it's not that fancy.
Well, it's hard to get a reservation.
I wore jeans in there last time.
The one
I was in
time
there.
I went, I think we had a 3:30 p.m. reservation because that's all we could get. It's like dinner at 3:30.
Yeah, but you should just pop in. Eat at the bar.
It's not a pop-in place.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
At least I popped in there a little
Plus,
while ago.
isn't their big thing a salad anyway? Don't they have some salad
No,
that
pasta.
makes
You got to go pasta. at
Pasta?
Felix. Felix is really good pasta because
Yeah.
they make. And by the way, it's an open glass. It's like we're in a fishbowl studio here.
Yeah.
Like if you walk into the lobby here, you'll see us sitting
Yeah,
here.
right.
Same thing at Felix. The where they're making the pasta is a 4-glass.
Oh,
room.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So you can watch them do it.
Yeah. I think that the other thing that I cling to is Popeyes. And occasionally I will, when I have absolutely no self-respect at all, I will order 2 spicy chicken sandwiches from Popeyes and kill both of them.
When was the last time you did it?
I put a picture on Instagram.
Did you?
On my story. It wasn't this week. It was like 2 weeks ago that I broke down. I've eaten excellent every day since that last bag of Popeyes.
Do you ever feel like, because you're working out a lot trying to get your summer, what do you call it?
It's my summer shred is on, yeah.
Do you feel like after you've done like a week or two where you do really, really well, that you're like, I don't care. I'm just going to start eating whatever I want?
No.
No,
No.
You're fully invested.
I am fully invested. Like I've never been invested in anything. But like you guys can say, "Oh, I don't think he's going to say. I think he's going to. I think he's going to walk away." Nope, I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
I'm already on record. I think you're kind of obsessed with it, and I think you're going to finish it.
Yeah, I am very obsessed with it. So
it's not like Bergman on his Peloton. I mean, you'll actually stick with
right.
it. Greg, what's the status of your Peloton?
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, you
Where
gave
is
it to Morales.
It is in Morales' house.
Is he using it?
He said he was. I don't know though.
Here's the weird thing: Morales is hardly ever home. He's staying at the East Central all the time.
Yeah, and he's always Ubering somewhere to. He's a very active social
when,
life.
When the hell is he? I guarantee you, he's got
today.
clothes hanging on his Peloton now.
I don't know. You can ask him. He's at home today.
Morales is at home. I'm sure he's riding away. I'm sure. Yeah, do it. Do it. I'm sure he's doing a Peloton class even as we speak.
I doubt that's true.
Yeah, no, I think he probably is working hard at it. Morales seems like the type. All right, so let me see. Oh, you know what? Barkley is having a feud with Beyonce's mom. Have you heard about this?
I think so. This is the Galveston stuff.
Yes,
right?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will do that coming up next for you. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN. Let me tell you about Jacob and Ronnie. So, if you are involved in any kind of accident, what you want is somebody with experience. You want Jacob Emrani. When you deal with Jacob, it's all about respect. RESPECT, respect. Respect is the word that follows Jacob everywhere he goes. Over 27 years now, Jacob has built a legacy of trust and respect. The insurance companies, the attorneys, respect your case when they see Jacob's name on it. After an accident, you can trust Jacob. Your case will get the respect that it deserves. Remember, 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. 844-24-JACOB. Or remember,
accident or injury, call Jacob and Ronnie. Call Jacob.
CallJacob.com, and don't forget to follow Call Jacob on Instagram. Go to @call.jacob. Mason in Ireland, 710 ESPN.
Sedano.
Twisted, yo. The most downloaded sports radio show in Los Angeles. The podcast, that is.
Mason and Ireland, the #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles. The #1 most downloaded sports podcast in Los Angeles, and we thank all of our podcast listeners for that.
If you ever miss a moment, get your fill anytime. Just search Mason and Ireland wherever you get your podcast.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what I was going to say. Thank you.
Was I right?
You were right.
Look, see, Ireland, I pay attention.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
He's locked in. So,
lock in.
Ireland, Charles Barkley, who I think, honestly, every show we play a clip from Charles Barkley.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, Warner Brothers Discovery botched the NBA negotiations.
Oh, did they? I didn't even hear that.
And,
yeah.
Well, so they had an exclusive window to bring back the NBA, and they let it lapse, and now NBC came in and made a bid that's so high, Warner Brothers Discovery, which is Turner, has to either match it or get out. And if they match it, they can't make any money.
Oh, wow.
Because NBC puts... NBC handled this brilliantly.
Yeah.
And so ESPN's going to have some NBA, Amazon's going to have some NBA, and then the third leg of that triangle is either going to be Turner or NBC. And now Turner's in a tough spot.
Yeah.
So Barkley could be working somewhere else next year.
Yeah, sounds like it. 25, right? After one more season.
Right, after one more year.
Yeah. So Barkley is having this, he's always been a big fan of San Antonio. Always been a big fan of San Antonio, Texas.
He thinks the women are big down there.
And he also brought up Galveston, Texas at some point, which happens to be Beyonce's mom's hometown. Or is it Beyonce's hometown?
Well, it could be both.
Beyonce's mom's hometown, at least. And he was put in a position where he had to apologize.
I don't want the beehive and Jay after Chuck. Those, I apologize. I do not want the beehive and Jay after me.
So how do you like Galveston now? It's beautiful.
We're not going there. And would you go on vacation?
You got a chance.
Hell no, I ain't going on vacation.
You've got a chance to wipe the slate clean here.
You got to
Turn
just say,
over a
I
new
would go to
leaf.
Galveston. Let me tell you something. That water's so dirty, I'd rather go to San Antonio. I'd rather go to San Antonio with them big old women. No, I'm not going to Galveston. I want to go to the beach down in the river walk and watch them big old women walk around San Antonio.
So you know what? You know what sets him off. Okay, so you know what?
Would you rather go, Chuck? San Antonio. That's what they invented Victoria's Secret, Chuck. Why is it secret? Because them little women down there, they can't get in them cute little underwear. They wear bloomers down in San Antonio. Oh, my God.
Somehow.
Victoria's Secret down there. It's still
Somehow we are going to transition from that to this.
You like no parts of Texas.
Yeah, he's all over Texas. Apparently, Beyonce's mom is from Galveston, but
You
not
heard something sad. So I lived in Texas for 4 years.
Yep.
Galveston's where you go on vacation if you live in Texas.
Is that right?
That's where the beach is.
Isn't it on the coast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near Houston, your favorite town.
Oh, God, what a town. What a town. My least, it's close. Houston and Orlando are my two least favorite American cities.
There's nothing wrong with Orlando.
Orlando is just a bunch of theme parks. That's really all it is. If you want to go to theme parks, it's perfect. If you want to go to Disney World and Epcot Center and all this, but otherwise, what's the point of Orlando? Orlando is just there for Disney World.
Well, if you want to see the magic.
Or to see the magic, right. Two things, Disney World and the magic. Are you allowed to call women big old girls like Barkley's doing?
Barkley is like, Greg, I was trying to explain this to Greg about Michael.
Yeah.
Michael can say anything that if one of us said it, it would be ridiculously offensive. But when Michael says it, people laugh. They think it's funny.
Yes.
Same thing applies to Barkley.
Yeah, he's like, they both have that same kind of weird old
kind of Teflon.
Weird old uncle vibe, too.
Right. So if they say it, they can kind of get. That's what I loved about that roast last night. Nobody cared.
Yeah, right.
You know, they if they flopped on a joke, they would just keep going.
Yeah, not everybody hit it out of the park.
Surprised Belichick showed up?
No, and by the way, I thought it was a really nice moment when Kraft called Belichick over and said,
Kevin Hart made him do it.
made him do it. Get together and do a shot, and Kraft said, "You're the greatest coach in the history of the world."
Right.
History of the game.
Right.
Which I thought was nice. The only joke that didn't fly last night was about massage parlors and Robert Kraft.
Well, I thought that joke was funny. It's
Me
just
too.
Brady didn't like it.
Yeah.
So he pulled
of all
the plug
the
on
things
it.
that were said last night, that was the one thing.
Well, I think he feels like Kraft took care of him, gave him over $200 million and took care of him throughout his career, and he didn't want to see that turned into a roast of Kraft.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he told him to knock it off. But I thought the comedians were great.
Fantastic.
I just thought the event was great.
By the way, the idea from earlier, the idea of roasting, because this is apparently going to be a series. It's a
and I thought there were
the greatest roast of all time.
Right. I thought there were two people there that should be candidates for the next roast. The first one's Belichick.
Yeah.
If he would take it in the spirit in which it was intended, I think all those old players would come back. And then when he got his chance to talk, he would just kill all of them. And then the one that I think would provide the most material is Kim Kardashian. I think that if she agreed to be roasted and all those same comedians came back, they would just torture. And
Don't
it would
you
be
think
really
there's
funny.
the same problem we were just talking about with Ramona, where it's different?
Maybe.
Everybody took a turn already. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean everybody picked. Didn't everybody?
I'm just saying.
No, but I think Laura's point is everybody had a Kim K joke.
It is true.
That's
Everybody
what I meant.
Yeah, Greg, get your head out of the gutter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. That's why you can't stop laughing.
I'm not laughing. You're laughing.
But
hey, let me ask you something different here, because my brain is starting to work. So I noticed that tonight
at 3:34 for a 1 o'clock show, it just
started
kicked in.
working.
Great, we got one segment left. Thanks,
Yeah.
Mace.
So here's the gig is tonight at the Met Gala, right? Everybody puts on all their goofy outfits and stuff.
Tonight's the night.
And we have our own Met Gala, which is the Mandy Awards.
Right.
So I put out a tweet that has you and me and what we were wearing on that sort of rotating platform thing.
Yeah.
Which actually is a really cool video. I'm wearing. You look very classy.
Okay.
In a
I'm
purple,
gonna look at your tweet.
purple
Is it out
jacket.
yet?
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
You look very classy in a tailored, fitted purple jacket.
Yep.
And
Does it show my shoes? I had great shoes.
I don't recall. I look ridiculous in what looks like a Batman villain suit. Like,
yeah, you do. You look like the Riddler.
The Riddler. I do look like the Riddler.
Who wore it best, Greg?
Mace did a really good job. That was a great outfit.
Yeah, I mean,
I liked yours too. But what are you guys going to do this year? Are you going to go even bigger?
That's the thing. How do you go bigger than Riddler outfit?
My problem is I own two suits. I wore one last year and one the year before.
Right.
So
You need a new one.
I don't want to buy a new suit, but
you
I
gonna
may
rent
have
a
to find one.
I am thinking, because I'm in my summer shred, that I might do the cappy and go shirtless.
Ooh,
Wow.
With that double chain
With the double chain, exactly.
and all black Air Force.
Yeah.
No, don't go all black.
I'm not going to
Air
go all
Force.
black Air Force. No, not at all.
That's just
It's
cappy.
hard to keep topping everybody's outfits.
Yeah.
Oh, like that one? No, that one's
Have
good.
you guys really thought about your outfits? Because I was
Zero.
thinking about it, and I'm like,
I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been obsessed with it.
I may wear a rompum.
Do it.
You
Yeah,
should.
I'm
Do
going to
it.
consider that.
Do you have the pineapple one still?
I don't know. I'll look.
What if you do a change outfits?
Yeah, we
that's,
did.
that's very cappy.
You
Change
did-
outfits.
we did
I'm
that
going.
last
I'm
year.
going one outfit and marrying myself to it.
Okay, if you go with the
I'm
rompum,
all about low maintenance.
you can go in the rompum to start, but then switch to the bunny outfit afterwards.
The bunny outfit for that long would be uncomfortable,
That
but I
is-
have it somewhere.
Yeah.
So you could or start with it and switch to the rompum.
Maybe I'll.
You know what a lot of people are doing is suits with shorts.
Well,
now.
I was
Suits with
afraid.
shorts.
I was
Clinton did that
afraid
last
to
year.
wear.
Did he? Yeah.
Remember the
No.
Russell Westbrook outfit I wanted to wear?
Oh
And I
yeah,
was-
with
with the kilt.
You're allowed to do
But
that.
now I can.
Yeah, of course you can.
Before I couldn't because I was afraid he would get me fired.
Oh, Ireland in a kilt is
But I may
brilliant.
do that. We'll see.
You should do that.
That's a great idea.
That's
Yeah.
that's what I will try and recreate.
Bergman, what about you?
I don't know. I want to find a bigger, better suit.
You want me to
go
talk to my designer?
Greg,
I'm a son.
I'm a stone. Yes.
Have you seen the commercial with Perk and Carmelo Anthony when they wear the boxy suits? You should get one of those suits.
Big old boxy
Yeah, you should get one of those boxy
No,
suits.
I'll be doing the red carpet and not be able to move.
Yeah, those are very funny.
Like Shohei?
Yeah, exactly.
A Shohei, like a David Byrne.
Boy, that's
Shohei
about the
suit.
only thing you can criticize Shohei for.
Yeah.
He's
Everything
been
else,
unbelievable.
he's just doing the moves from the dancer. Yeah, exactly. All right, so it's your game today, Arlen. What
It
kind of
is my
you doing?
game, and it's a game that Mason will criticize but do well in. That's my tease.
That's interesting.
You'll criticize it, but you'll do well.
Okay.
That's what I predict.
Sounds like at the end I will be happy. That's coming up next for you. Do some game of games. It is a big Monday. We'll get some Super Crosstalk coming up for you. Mason and Ireland, 710 ESPN.
It is time for Game of Games on the #1 sports radio show in L.A., Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle.
Call Jacob.
Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
All right, here we go. Bergman, what kind of score do we got on the board for this
Yeah, what
month?
is the score for Game of Games right now?
Saw it was Mason 1, Ireland. I believe you won on Friday.
Yeah.
So it's 2 for Ireland, Mason 1.
And that's it?
That's it?
Yep.
All
Ireland
right,
2, Mason
Greg,
1.
I'm making you the favorite in this game, and if you don't win, I think Mace will win. Brian and Laura are long shots. Here it is.
Okay.
This game is name is your buzzer the whole way through.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm screwed.
We haven't done
all
these
of
in a
all
while.
of us.
Laura, I don't think you are screwed. I think you could surprise here.
No,
Okay.
all of us just need to
focus.
Okay.
Exactly. All right.
La-di-da.
I have a list of athletes. All of these athletes wear the same jersey number. I'll read the names. Now, Mace, last time you did that, and you won.
I'm terrible at
but
jersey
you won
numbers.
last time I did this. All right. I'll read the names. As soon as you think you know the number, your name is your buzzer. So what I'm asking you guys for is the number. Okay? So here we go.
I think Brian's going to be good at this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so,
Brian
too.
will be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you, last time we did it, Mace went, oh, I'll be terrible, and he won it. So here we
I
go.
will be terrible.
All right, here we go. Babe Ruth.
Brian.
Greg.
Brian.
3.
Yep.
Boom!
Yeah.
Brian Cohen out of the gate.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Wow,
I'm gonna
was
have to jump in
fast,
early.
Too. It is. All right.
I was going to have
Mace.
some time there.
Yep.
Reggie Jackson.
Mason. 28.
No.
Brian.
Greg.
Brian.
44.
44.
Oh, he beat me again.
Oh, we got
I knew
it.
both of
Brian's
these.
the ringer.
We got it.
Brian, nicely done.
Oh boy, I Brian may run the table here. I didn't know you were this good at this.
He's
All right.
beating me by like a quarter of a second.
All right, here we go.
He's so mad.
It is like quick draw.
Yeah.
Kirk Gibson. Rams running back Kyron
Mason.
Williams. Mace.
23.
Boom!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mace
I
on
do
the
know that
board.
one. I do know that one.
I blanked on Gibson. I knew and I blanked on it.
By the way, it was going to be Draymond Green, LeBron, Michael Jordan. Sure. So it would have been easy on the outside. Okay, here we go. Brian 2, Mason 1. Number 4. John Stockton. Joe Namath. Torian Prince.
Greg.
12. 12. Greg on the board.
I had 12 in my head. I was like,
Stockton
Tom,
was 12.
Tom Brady was next.
Yeah.
That would have given it
yeah.
away. Okay, here we go. Number 5. It's Brian 2, Greg 1, Mace 1, Laura yet to scratch.
Nah, I knew.
Should we give Laura? I don't
No,
think.
no, it's okay.
But I think if I give you one name, it would not be unfair because it's a hard name. Are you guys okay with me giving Laura? letting Laura
Absolutely.
take the first name?
She doesn't want it.
Absolutely.
All right.
I don't want special.
She doesn't want your pity.
She doesn't want special treatment, John.
Okay, Laura, you sure?
Yeah.
Because I think Brian's going to jump this.
It's okay.
Okay. Mickey Mantle.
Brian.
7. Boom.
Yeah, Brian. Brian knows numbers.
Brian 3.
Did you didn't anticipate this?
At all.
Yeah.
I thought Greg would be what Brian
I know
is.
all these.
Yeah,
Brian,
he's reading them.
Brian is low key the smartest person on the show.
Okay.
High
Humble.
key.
I don't even think it's low key.
Yeah, it's very high key.
Yeah, I think it's regular
Very
key.
high key.
All right, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Okay. Chris Mullen. Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
Mason.
Mace.
9?
No.
Brian.
Philip.
17.
17. Brian's on it.
Right.
Brian's on it.
You said Philip Rivers. Obviously, he's going to get that one.
Yeah.
I had that one.
Oh, that's right.
Then it was Devontae Adams and Shohei Ohtani would have been the last two. Okay, Brian's got a command. Oh, all you guys, Laura can't catch him. Greg, you and Mace can catch him, but you got to jump in early.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I can turn my mic off.
You can,
if you want to.
Wait a minute, Laura.
Okay.
How many you got? 1, 2,
got
3.
0.
Yeah, you got 0. You're out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Fine.
I tried to give you special treatment.
I don't want it.
Vince Carter.
Brian.
15. Oh, my God.
Brian.
Brian.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Brian.
You knew Vince Carter based on that?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was going to be the hardest one. Austin Barnes, Nikola Jokic, Patrick Mahomes. Brian's not even letting you guys
No,
get past the
not
first
at all.
name. All right, let's
Jersey
just-
numbers.
Nicely done, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, you're good at this. All right, let's see if you can run the table. There are 2 more. I think you're going to get this one, too. Karl Malone.
Greg.
Sandy Koufax. Greg.
32.
Boom. Greg on the board. Sandy
2.
Koufax, Jim Brown, Magic Johnson, O.J. Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
In honor of last night's roast, I
Sure.
threw O.J. Simpson in because nothing was off limits.
I think Brian gave you that.
All right. This one's a little harder, but Brian, based on what you've done so far, I think you'll probably get it. Randy Moss.
Brian. 81.
No.
Greg.
But he did wear that. This was what he wore with the Vikings, Greg.
Oh, wait, where are the Vikings?
You want me to give you another name?
Yeah.
Andy Pajes.
88.
Incorrect.
No, that's right. No, it's not.
Incorrect.
No, it's 80.
Shut
I know it.
up,
I
don't
know it.
say it.
I know it.
All right, Laura, you got a chance to scratch here.
Mother bleeper.
Antonio Brown.
I'm not even paying
Come
attention
on.
anymore. Sorry.
Mason.
Mace.
10?
No.
No.
In the 80s.
Brian.
84.
84.
Oh, we get to guess again?
Well, I was just saying.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
already won.
I think Brian has got this locked up.
Yeah.
And
All
I
right.
told you I have
believe I
no
said 80.
capacity for numbers. I got one because I knew Kyron
Well,
Williams.
you just didn't ring in early enough. All right, here, let's do the tiebreaker. Okay, so just do this in your head.
Okay.
All right?
Not write it down.
If you write it down, you'll get confused.
Okay.
If you add up the Lakers jersey numbers of Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and Shaq, what total number do you get? Brian, give me a number, just a guess.
144.
Okay, Greg.
Way too low. 302.
Laura.
305.
Oh.
Mace.
101.
Brian wins again. 198. Here were the numbers. Wilt was 13, Jerry West 44, Worthy 42, Kareem 33, Magic 32, and Shaq 34. Totals out at 198. And Brian, a convincing, dominating victory for you.
Now,
Well
you have a
done.
head for numbers. It's like you have a beautiful mind. You're like Russell Crowe in that movie, all these numbers floating around in your head, huh?
Just don't ask me to do any math. You know, the numbers don't work like that, but they work with the jersey numbers.
All right, so let me see how you do with some of the other retired Laker jerseys. Okay, you know Kobe's two numbers, right?
Yeah, 824.
Okay. Do you know Gail Goodrich?
No.
Do you know Jamal Wilkes?
I don't.
Do you know Kareem and Shaq?
34?
34 Shaq. Do you know Kareem?
I don't.
33.
Come on
Okay.
now.
You know Magic?
Yeah, 32.
Right. Do you know, I'm trying to think of other people that are up there. Wilt.
I don't think I do know.
Wilt has the same number as Dan Marino.
14?
Same number as A-Rod. You're close. Very close.
Oh, 13.
Yeah. there
Okay,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a good head for numbers. That it all kind of worked out. That game was very anticlimactic.
Right up my alley.
It was.
Brian just ran the table on us.
Sure did.
All right, so is that his first win of the month,
That's
Greg?
first win of the month, so it's now Ireland 2, Mason 1, Brian 1.
Okay. And then tomorrow's Mesa's game.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, there was something else I wanted to get to today that we didn't get to. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, so did you guys see, Mace, this is more directed at you.
Okay.
J.J. Watt came out over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So J.J. Watt, here's his stats. He's 35, finished his career with 5 Pro Bowls, 5 All-Pro appearances, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards.
Yep.
Didn't play last year, but played every year before that. Told Texans coach DeMeco Ryans, if you ask me, I'll come out of retirement.
Right.
Why doesn't Sean McVay ask him?
Well, first of all, I saw the clip, and I think he's kind of, it's a joke, I think. I don't think he's actually.
Not serious?
Yeah, did you see him?
Did you
it was
see
almost like, if he absolutely needs me, I'll come out of retirement.
Right.
But I
Did
don't.
you see the Les Snead clip when he was on?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember where he was. He might have been
He
on
said
Rick-
he wasn't he said it was something shy of 100% that Aaron Donald was retired.
Right.
By the way,
it sounded like 90% sure he was out.
Yeah, by the
right?
way, JJ has not played since 2022.
So
That was
he's
his
missed-
last full season.
So yeah, so he missed last year. He missed
Yeah.
23. This
Oh,
is
yeah,
24.
that's right. That's
He's only
right.
missed 1 year.
Yeah.
All right, the other thing I was going to ask you about is, did you see Caitlin Clark had her preseason debut?
Yes.
And she played well.
Yep.
Hit
21 points.
Yeah. After the game, somebody asked Caitlin Clark about her boyfriend.
Yes.
Said,
in the cheesiest way possible.
No, said, is your boyfriend here?
No, he said, is your bae here?
Oh, okay. And she said, no, he's working. I'm going to get used to it. I'm going to be out here by myself most of the time. And it was, the reporter was criticized for asking Caitlin Clark about her boyfriend. Should the reporter have been criticized?
I think, I don't know. Would you ask Steph Curry about his wife
do.
when he's on a
Well, his wife's on TV.
dais?
So,
right.
yeah.
That's probably not the best example.
It would,
But why isn't she treated just like an athlete? Why does it have to be, is your bae here?
Yeah, that was weird. You're right.
Why would you say, is your bae here? It's just a weird. First of all, I don't even think that's a thing anymore, is it?
What is B? It's BA. It's
Before anyone else.
Yeah. And so that's
your
a
bae.
Okay, maybe.
I think it's just weird.
Yeah.
Just treat her like every other athlete. Don't try to be cute. Don't make heart signs. Don't ask her where her bae is. I mean, she's a basketball player. Treat her like one.
It is going to be a whole new world with her popularity and as big as she is. Did you guys see? Sedano just walked in. Did you guys see? I think we talked about this on Friday. They moved. The Pacers had a game on the same night that the Fever was supposed to play their home opener, and they moved the men rather than the women. They had to move one of them, and in every instance prior to this, they've always moved the WNBA or they moved it to a different venue. She's so popular, and that thing has been sold out for so long at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse that they are moving the men's game to the next night and keeping Caitlin Clark on her original date, which is a really good sign for the WNBA.
Let me just go back to that question. The question from the reporter was, is Bae going to be here? Now, you wouldn't ask that of a male athlete.
If someone asked about LeBron, he'd be like, what?
Is your Bae here, LeBron? What are you talking about?
I would probably ask him to explain what that means.
She's a professional athlete.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't know what happens with her.
It's like reporters get cringy.
And was it a male reporter?
It was a male reporter.
Another male reporter.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. By
the way, they're also from Indiana, local Indiana.
Yeah, maybe it's a Midwest thing.
What are they doing over there?
By the way, is Bae still a thing? It was a thing like 10 years ago. I don't think it's a thing anymore.
It depends. Is it just because they haven't had a star there in so long?
How old's a reporter?
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't get the stats on him.
I mean, I know Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning haven't been there in a minute, but geez.
Hey, Cappy, how was the graduation?
Oh, my God, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Cappy's daughter graduated from, was it Boise State, Cap?
Yep, Boise State.
Did they do it in the stadium with the blue field?
No, they did it in the basketball arena right next door. Yeah.
But it went well, and she had a good time, and everything went as expected?
Everything went as expected until later that night when I tried to keep up drinking with her and all of her friends.
Yeah, it's a
And
mistake.
you forgot that you haven't been in that weight class in 30 years?
Right, and then they suckered me. And I'm going to talk about this with George later because I definitely need his opinion.
Yep.
And then they suckered me into doing something that I probably wouldn't have done if it wasn't for the beers and the emotion of the moment. You know?
Interesting.
Did it involve handing over your credit card to pay for everything?
You got that right, partner.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yep.
All right, so over the weekend, the person that was the most wrong about anything was me.
Yep, I agree.
The Giselle thing.
Right.
I said it a million times.
They won't touch Giselle.
I didn't think they would.
Within 10 minutes, it was
not
over.
even 10.
No.
George, within 1 minute.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart came out and said, you set her up with the jiu-jitsu instructor, and then and it was 95% of the stuff we can't run.
Yes,
but it was very, very good. George, you're second. I was the most wrong. You were second when you completely shut me down when I said Minnesota's going to beat Denver.
Well, you said in a series,
right?
I don't think they can beat Denver in the series.
I do.
I don't.
I think Denver wins. I think Denver wins tonight.
Denver can lose tonight, and I still think they win 4 out of 5.
Here's why. Tell me if you agree. I don't think Jamal Murray's right.
He isn't, but he hasn't been right all year.
Right, but I think that Anthony Edwards is so good that Jamal Murray has to be right to beat this team.
I mean, I think if he plays the way he's played, I think the key is Jokic. Jokic, when Gobert wasn't guarding him and Gobert was allowed to roam, created a lot of problems for them if you look at the numbers.
But
Gobert,
you feel so strongly that Denver wins the series.
Yeah. I mean, to me, as long as Jokic is healthy, then I feel confident.
Cappy, your take.
You know, Mace, I'll tell you my take.
Yeah.
I don't rule Minnesota out at all. Seriously, I think Anthony Edwards is the most exciting player in the game right now.
He is, no question.
And I love the way that Minnesota has essentially, and all these veteran guys are like, no, it's his team. He's 22 years old. It's his team. We follow his lead. And I actually think Minnesota is alive in this series. And I like what John is saying. If Murray's not right, and George is saying that, he hasn't been all year, but if Murray's not right, maybe Minnesota can sneak up on him.
Denver minus 8.5 today.
Yeah.
Take the cut.
Right.
Mace did bet Denver.
I got 6.5.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry, 6.5.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
I got Denver minus 6.5 on cut.
Brian, hit the super stager. Then I'm going to ask Sonano and Cap something.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason in Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
Okay, boys, we were kicking this around earlier on our show. I don't know if you saw this story, but Rudy Gobert's girlfriend had a baby this morning in Minnesota.
Okay.
They think, McMenamin was just on, he's questionable to make it back to Denver, but he thinks he's going to make it. And George, you and I have done that. He'll make it. I mean, it's not that far. But the question we asked earlier is, of course, everybody wants to be there for the birth of their child. But if you're the T-Wolves, can you even ask, George?
No.
You can't even pose the question.
I wouldn't.
Which is what?
Would it be
possible for you
to skip the birth of the child?
Or can we accommodate your girlfriend or I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend. Can we accommodate her and drive her to Denver and
have her deliver there?
Do whatever it takes.
Yeah, deliver in Denver.
It's argument, George. Right. Is it not probably the most important game in T-Wolves history
fly the
tonight?
Obstetrician in to actually do the delivery.
Can you even ask these questions?
Well, she's got her own doctor, to Mace's point, that she's been with for 9 months.
Right, that you will bring. Or can I even go?
You will bring the doctor.
Wait, the doctor needs to agree to go too.
I'm saying it. I don't think you can say, hey, we're paying you $50 million for nights like this. You have to be there. But can I even approach the idea of...
I wouldn't. If I owned the team, I wouldn't.
What popped into my head, George...
You would. Of course you would.
100% I would.
You would ask Cappy?
Yeah, Cappy would ask.
I would ask.
And he'd make the awkward situation like Ireland.
What's the phrase that I always say I steal from you?
2 things can be true at once.
So in this case, can this game be the most important game in maybe Timberwolves history, and the birth of a child, nothing's more important than that? Can I try and even accommodate both?
And try to marry both things?
Can I even try? Cappy, can I ask?
Yeah, 100%. Listen, I would guess from the player's perspective, he's got this tremendous conflict because on one hand, you really want to be there for the birth of your child, and if it were a regular season game, no problem.
Yep, don't even
I'll
bring
miss
it
the
up.
game, no problem. But this is a huge, huge playoff game, and I want to be there, number one, and my teammates are counting on me, number two. Now, is there a way to make both happen? If he can be there for the birth of the child and get on a private plane and still make it to the game, problem averted. But I would have absolutely have said, hey, look, this is a possibility. Is there a safe way to transport her and have this baby in Denver?
It's not girlfriend. It's not the Oregon Trail. They don't need to bring her in by wagon. You know what I mean?
But you can't fly. You can't fly that.
I
know.
Transport her.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Minnesota to Denver is a long drive.
We're going to put your girlfriend in a minivan, and we're going to drive to Denver with her obstetrician in the car.
But you could have moved her there before the game 1 on Saturday.
True.
Like you could have driven her in last week.
Or prepare for her to have the baby in Denver.
Is it offensive to even suggest this? Is my question.
I mean, I don't think it's offensive. I just wouldn't ask. I just feel like it's tactless.
What if it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
Okay.
Does that change George? Does that change the equation in your mind?
I mean, I think it's up to him, man. At that point.
Well, of course it's up to him. But I mean, what I'm saying is, people will be offended that I'm even bringing this up.
No way.
Would they be offended?
No, I don't think anyone's offended.
Nobody's offended.
Would you be offended if if you're Rudy Gobert, if the team asks? Just say, is there a way we can have you at the birth of your child and get you in for game 2?
I don't think he would be offended. I think that
he may say no.
Right. I just wouldn't ask. I would not want that awkward conversation. And I'm a big fan of contentious and awkward conversations.
You are.
But
I hear your show.
But in that scenario, I feel like, no. Like that's when I draw the line.
Turn it around. You ready? Mm-hmm. You're him. You're Rudy Gobert.
I'm Rudy Gobert.
Okay. What do you do?
I do what Rudy Gobert's doing. I go and I fly in the day of the game, and I try to make it to the game.
Right, you have the baby, and then you fly in.
We've seen plenty of guys literally walk into the arena as the game is about to tip off in scenarios like this before.
The drive is 13 hours.
He's flying private.
That's a 13-hour drive from Minneapolis to Denver.
No way,
so
dude.
I think what you got to do then.
Do you remember when your wife was pregnant? You want to put her in a car for 13 hours?
No. But I really want Gobert to guard Jokic in this game if I'm Minnesota.
No, but he actually is terrible guarding Jokic. It's the other way around. It's when he's not guarding
Naz
Jokic.
Reid played out of his mind. But he's been having a great year. So we have both games tonight, right? Pacers, Knicks early, Wolves, Nuggets late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got money on both.
First game is going to tip off in, about 30 minutes from now. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the Knicks on the money line, and I got Denver -6.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I feel good about those.
Hey, what were you? So back to the where we started this. This
Where
whole
did
thing
we
about
start?
the
I forget where we
reporter,
started.
The
Yeah.
reporter with Caitlin Clark and Bay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just first and foremost, the phrase Bay.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember ever using that phrase.
I used it jokingly, sarcastically when I was doing the car race.
Pharrell Williams put it in a song.
Donna Feldman, she and I go back and forth and call each other Bay, the supermodel.
We've all remember that guy Salt Bay?
Oh yeah, Salt Bay.
We've all used it.
Yeah,
but isn't Salt Bay BAY? Is he?
No,
BAE?
It is BAE.
He is. He's BAE.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Salt Bay.
See, I think it's an old expression that somehow got brought back because Caitlin Clark was there, and they were looking for another way to make her awkward. They just.
I think these things happen.
I don't think reporters know how to
naturally.
handle a female athlete. She's a
But I just
superstar
wanna
female
know-
athlete. Treat her like an athlete.
I just want to know how old the reporter is, because like everybody got creeped out by that older dude,
Greg
who was
Doyle.
the columnist.
Yeah, Greg Doyle.
I wonder
Who
if
is
this is
weird.
like a young reporter who thinks that he's speaking
Is
like
there
a
video?
young person's language.
There is video. You guys talk.
Did you bring your Bay?
Yeah, did you bring your Bay? That's so
Is Bay
lame.
here?
So lame. So lame.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, right, if you're like Cappy's age and you're asking her that question,
creepy.
You're like, what?
I know, George. You have no idea, man. It was hard for me this weekend. Like, I felt like a creepy dude this weekend because I'm with my daughter, who's 21. She'll be 22 in like 2 weeks.
And you're lurking in Boise.
Well, and I'm out partying with her friends, you know? And don't get me wrong, there were other parents there also. But, like, I'm partying with these young girls that are, like, 21 years old. And they're like, I don't know, I'll just say like a little flirtatious, like in a weird kind of way.
Right.
And I'm like, girl, listen, let's not even like joke around here. You know what I mean?
You refuse to joke around?
I mean, it just was like, I thought about it, John. I thought about it in my head. I'm like, could I do this? And then I thought, don't do this. You can't do this. You're an idiot if you touch this.
But you did it, which is great.
Yeah, what you do in that scenario, Cappy, is you come in, you pick up the tab for everybody, you congratulate everybody, you keep your hands in your pockets, and you go home.
Right. I was like Darvin Ham. I had my hands in my pockets the
There
entire
you go.
time.
Just like Darvin.
Just walking around the sideline, just with my hands in my pockets.
What about the, did you have a derby party? Did you go to a derby party, George?
I did not, but I watched the Derby,
Yeah.
and I was very upset because I bet on 5 different horses to win separately.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And
You're
then
betting
I bet
against yourself at this point.
Wait. But then I bet 4 different exactas, and the one I forgot was the one that won. Was Mystic Dan.
Oh, man.
I bet 4 different ones. I bet the 3 you had, Cappy, plus there was one more.
I bet on fierceness, Cap. I lost $40.
Here was my bet. I bet on the field over fierceness because fierceness was the favorite.
So you
and
won
I
something?
came in and won. Yeah.
So I ended up winning I bet $200 worth of bets.
Yep.
And I ended up with I won $196.10 because I won I guess a $10 or $15 bet on Mystic Dan or Mystic Dan or whatever.
Mystic Dan. It was such a close finish too.
Right.
Did you see?
But if I would have bet the exacta too, I would have won several $100s more.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now, is horse racing? Can you bet on horse racing in California?
Yes.
I was.
Yeah.
What I did was
who was
one of my
betting
friends
for
at the party
Churchill
had
Downside.
an app on his phone,
No, you
and
gotta-
I just gave him $40 and he bet it for me.
TVG app.
TVG. She went to Twin Spires.
Yeah,
which is
I'm sure Twin
where
Spires.
she-
That's the one they were promoting on the broadcast.
And I had mint julep.
Yeah, of
which
course
was
you
delicious.
can do it in here in California. Parimutuels are a fair game.
Right.
So, it's good.
Oh, wait, so George, tell me how you played this. You played 5 different
So I
horses
played
to
5
win.
to win, and I forgot to put the 5th exacta. I put the same horses I put to win. I put them in an exacta to win, plus like 5 or 6 other horses to come in second. And the one I screwed up was Mystic Dan. I did not put an extra exacta on that one.
What a day!
Wow, you see that is a
Just because I forgot.
You know how you always tell me that on Prize Picks, I'm kind of like I'm always betting the more side rather than the less side. Mm-hmm. Because
Nobody
I'm
wants to root for less.
Right,
Everybody
that's just
wants
it.
more.
The Kentucky Derby big races like that are perfect to get the general public to do what George just did, which is essentially what you're doing is you're betting against yourself. Now, you're probably thinking, George, that you hedged, right?
No, I'm not thinking I hedged. I felt like there were 5 horses I thought could actually win the race, and I bet on all 5 of them to win, and I was going to bet all 5 of them to win on an exacta, too, and also placing a bunch
You were going to put them
second.
in a box.
Right.
The 5 horses in an exacta
That's
box.
expensive.
No, not a box, just an exacta.
Oh, okay.
Just first and second.
Got it.
Okay, but
Why would you not box it?
Yeah, boxing it is the smart way to do it.
more
You're doing the same
expensive.
thing.
Way more expensive.
Well, it's twice as many bets.
Right.
Yeah, it is. It
So
is.
I had I just not forgotten to put Mystic Dan as the other
Right,
horse,
right.
I would have ended up with probably up $500 or something like that.
I would have taken your 5 horses. This is how I would have played it. I would have taken your 5 horses, and I would have put them in a trifecta box.
Bingo.
You know, and
That's
then this
the bet.
way.
That's the way I would have played it, too.
Let me ask you guys something. Speaking of betting, not surprisingly, Victor Wembanyama just won NBA Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Could I have? I know the odds would have been ridiculous. I would probably had to bet $20 million to win $1 million. But wouldn't that have been the safest bet ever?
It didn't look that way the first month and a half of the season.
With Chet Holmgren.
Right.
But I mean, now, if I bet it yesterday.
I would say like it didn't look safe until like late January, early February.
I mean, in terms of value, it'd be a really stupid bet. But, I mean, you wouldn't have lost, right?
Right. I mean, you say that now, but again, in November and December, he did not look anywhere near as good as Chet Holmgren.
He went off today at minus 5,000, which means
I have to bet 5,000 to win
100.
Or to win 100.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I had money and I bet like $5 million, I could win $100,000.
Why don't you refinance your house in Coeur d'Alene and put it all down on Wemby?
There you go. Let's go on Wemby.
Captain, does Rachel have any friends? Because I would be in a divorce pretty quick.
I get that. Mace, did you guys, since we're talking Kentucky Derby, did you guys watch the Canelo fight on Saturday night?
Absolutely not. I did not see it.
I didn't see any of it.
I didn't watch it because I was out, trying to keep up with a bunch of teenagers.
Right? Yeah. I didn't buy that one.
I did not, but I watched, a lot of it play out on social media.
Sure.
So, okay, so that, because usually, that first Saturday of May is Derby and then big fight in Vegas, which, for the last however many years has all been Canelo. George, you watch the fight or did you?
I did not. I watched it after the fact, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So there was a lot going on this weekend. How about the Dodgers this past weekend?
Dodgers were
what a big weekend.
are so good. They
right.
are so good.
But I kind of liked it. I'm sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
They're not running away with it.
Well,
the division, yes.
Yeah, the division they're running away with.
No, but they don't have like the best record in baseball or anything.
But
right?
they've got the best record in the National League.
Yeah,
I
think they got the best record in the NL.
Yeah.
No, they don't, because Philadelphia has been on fire as of late. And so Philadelphia's 25.
Well, but the Braves were in first place in the NL East before this weekend.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a 5.5 game lead in the West. Mm-hmm. Only the Phillies have more wins than them.
Mm-hmm. Anybody in the American League comparable to them?
To Baltimore, the Yankees,
both have
and
23
Philly,
wins, yeah.
and the Dodgers have 23.
I kind of like that
when
we were asking if we should sound the alarm better. It's better radio.
It is better radio, but the problem is, and there are wrinkles on this team that are not working. Like tonight is one. It's going to be a big test. I mean, Walker Buehler they're counting on. I think he gives them 4 or 5 innings tonight, but we'll see if he ever returns to ace form, because I think right now, if you were to pencil in a starting rotation for the playoffs, it would obviously go Glasnow, Yamamoto, and Buehler third.
Right.
By the way, Kershaw went on the mound and threw, I think, 15 pitches this week.
Okay.
So they're talking about him now after the All-Star break. I imagine not till August will we see Clayton Kershaw. But, there really is no weakness on this team now that they've added Andy Paez.
Oh, he's been great.
He's been fantastic. Won the game in a walk-off on Friday night. Had 4 hits. He's been just
the Dodgers
fantastic.
keep finding great Cuban players?
Yeah, it's true. They do.
They've been doing it since Yasiel, I feel like.
Yeah, they do.
They've always got. And the other kid was the kid at third base last year that they sent back down because he wasn't
Miguel
ready yet.
Vargas.
Yes, he's also going to. They think he's
Miguel
still
Vargas is still tearing up AAA.
Right, they believe he's going to be a player. Yeah.
You guys know that tomorrow night I have a mandate to go to the Dodger game?
Oh, nice.
I heard.
Who's your mandate?
Oh, one Gregory Arthur Bergman.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bergman and Cappy are going to a game together?
Me and Bergie, the law firm of Bergman and Kaplan, are going to the Dodger game tomorrow night.
That's the plan.
The
Oh, wow. That sounds like you're hedging a little.
I'm not hedging.
Oh, Cappy.
We got denied for people to go today's game, and I have not heard
denied by
the Dodgers.
Oh, really? Why?
For people for today's game, and I have not heard anything about tomorrow's game from the Dodgers.
Why would we be denied?
That's a whole nother
We're not the
conversation
Dodgers
for
station.
another
Yeah,
day.
but I mean,
hold on,
still,
denied
press
credentials?
We were
Denied
denied credentials.
That's
for
outrageous. That's an outrage.
How
hold
could
on.
ESPN be denied
No,
credentials?
wait. Hold on. No, in all seriousness, the Dodgers denied an ESPN radio station credentials to their game?
Correct.
What
Two
was
of
the
them.
reason behind that?
They had their reasonings.
Did they not respond, or did they respond and
They
say
responded and they said, "I did not know what the plan for what you were going to do there." And I told them that it was for social content and for reporting the next day. And I haven't heard anything back yet.
Wait,
so I don't know.
hold on, wait. What did
as
they
of right
deny?
now,
So
I do not have an
no,
email.
they're just blowing you off.
You and me, Cappy, I do not have an answer on whether we have or do not have credentials yet.
All right, who? Let me.
I'm
where's
gonna
Mary
call-
Hart?
don't worry,
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna-
call Mary
I'm-
Hart and see if she's using her tickets tomorrow night.
Mary Hart? Oh, yeah.
No,
I know,
I
know
will
where she is.
I will make sure it happens, but as of right now, it is not happening, and I'm very upset about it.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
do-
the
do
plan is for you guys to go there and report live.
No,
Well, I don't know about live reporting.
No.
but-
Do it live.
Do it live.
You were just going to watch the game.
Well, basically, you're just going to watch the game.
Yeah, we'll do some social media, and then we'll come back here tomorrow
Right,
and talk
okay.
about the game.
Yeah.
That's it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
And you're not going live.
No,
From
we're not going live.
Right.
We're not
And
broadcasting
you
the
explained
game.
that, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. All right.
So what do they care?
I don't know. I'm
I mean,
waiting for a response.
Obviously, they do.
But if like the FM stations DJs went there and did like social media stuff, would they care?
No.
Let me tell you something right now. I'm going to call Magic.
That's
Yeah,
true.
call Ma-
Yeah,
I'm-
let
go
us
ahead.
know how that goes.
Tweet at him.
I'm going to call
Magic
I'm-
promised Cappy when we had him on a couple weeks ago that he would get him 8 passes to
8
the
field
Commanders.
passes. 8
Oh,
field
wow.
passes. That's right. So I'm going to tweet Magic. Yo, Magic, I got a problem. I need tomorrow. I'm coming to the game tomorrow night.
I'm pretty sure Magic's not the one running that Twitter account.
Come on, you're kidding me.
Don't believe
It's
that's
AI.
him. It's AI. It's
Sure
Chat
looks like
GPT
AI.
Magic.
Yeah.
All right, you know what, Bergie? If you don't hear from them, I'm gonna personally text Dave Roberts and ask him to leave us a couple of
Oh,
tickets.
wow.
Oh,
Cappy
wow.
is real close personal friends
Well,
with
you know,
you.
he's
I've
not
got
afraid.
I've also got a very good contact over there if you need tickets.
Okay,
yeah?
we're going to make it happen. I'm
right.
going to make sure it happens.
We're back tomorrow at 1,
Where are you
7:10
guys
ESPN.